radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray Music app and listen wherever you go.
Oiler Insider and Jersey Aficionado.
The 2-2. Garcia. Welcome to the Bronx Luis. The Yankees lead.
60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream.
And goal from the Rider 5. Edmonton looking to answer back. The travel. T.J. Luther. And the double E. Going away just yet.
It's all gas, no breaks.
This group with the Blue Jays, always special to us, guys.
So Alejandro Kirk with a drive, and that ball is out of here. First pitch slamming for Alejandro Kirk. It's his 4th home run of the season, and the Blue Jays strike first.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440.
Fire it up. Let's go. Short week. I'm back, baby. It's the Tom Gazzola Show on Sports 1440, presented by Bet365. Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick in studio with you. Sean Bell will be my co-host at 9 a.m. Looking forward to that. We've got a great show for you on the way. Hope you're doing well. You can join the conversation. We want to hear from you all show long. 1-833-401-1440. Of course, Bet365. Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 is available in Alberta and here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. I'm watching the Blue Jay stuff. Dalton Varsho's crying. He's sad. He's an Astro already. He's in his Astros gear. It's one of those where, you go down the hallway and the Jays were sellers, boys. The Jays were sellers. And you heard Hazel May off the top. Very special group. As a Diamondbacks fan, that must suck. That must suck. Jays fans. Don't give me that, Fenny. He's shaking his head. We will hear from Alan Mitchell. Low Tide will join us in about 17 minutes. Mark Spector, of course, on the mark. Cordell Woodland from 105.7. The Fan Baltimore. We'll go talk about the Ravens and the Orioles. And then Belsey will hop on, like I mentioned, at 9 a.m. Thomas Hall, Blue Jays Nation, will tell me about all the sentimental trades that were made. Kevin Gausman, we love you, Kevin Gausman. Oh, my God, you were such a good Blue Jay. We'll hear about that. And then Stephen Ellis from Daily Faceoff. A loaded show, a lot to talk about. I was away, and boys, I'll tell you what, I heard the chirps. The morning of the chirps, people at the rink were telling me about the chirps.
Which ones? Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Tom. You'll have to be more specific.
I heard about them.
The ones Belsey was leveling your way. The ones we were leveling against you the entirety of the week.
All of them.
Okay.
I out there helping Keith Gretzky,
helping the youth.
The youth, moving pucks for them.
Yeah.
Hurting cats off the ice.
Tying skates,
untying skates, retying skates. And then I've got parents coming out to me. Boy, they're really cracking on you, Tom. I'm like, who? The boys. I'm like, the boys? Which boys? The ones from your show. I'm like, what did they say? And they told me, and then they laughed. And I'm like, well, must be a sign of endearment.
That's what I always say. I'm not above taking shots like right face to face with you here in the studio, Tom.
I know you would.
But
Fenny too, actually.
But it's all the more fun when the afflicted party's not here to defend themselves. I know what happens to me when I'm not here. We did it to Kevin when he was on his one of 8 vacations a year. And now you're just another addition to the family. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. I feel blessed.
We're big vacation shamers here on this morning.
Guess what? In 3 weeks, I'm gone again.
Oh, I know. I know.
I'm gone again. Greg is a really nice guy that way. He said, do you have any holidays before I took this role? I said, I do. I do. He's like, you can take them. So I appreciate that. And boys, what I heard from the jokes and the wisecracks were pretty good, actually. So
some of it's pretty low hanging fruit for sure.
Yeah,
but there were a few good ones in there as well.
I appreciate that. No, it's all good. Fenny, do you want to explain yourself? Did you join in on this?
No, I could just, I keep my head down. No need to say anything. To be fair, I don't take any time off really. So
humble brag.
Yeah. So nothing
except hours early on Friday to take your girlfriend to lunch.
Yeah, and you know what? No
precious.
shame whatsoever. I do it again. It was delicious. We got Japanese Village.
Japanese Village is very good.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. When are we going to this castle?
Great question.
Isn't Sean the ringleader of this?
Sean usually is the bully, but if there's one person that always tries to keep him in check, it is Kevin. So I wonder if KK, as the loser of the most recent round, has a little bit of fear struck in Sean's heart. But Sean's been on some time off as well, naturally, as a salesman in the summertime. It's pretty at your leisure to make your way in studio. So I haven't seen much of him lately. But next time he does stroll in, we'll have to get some of that formalized. And then we also, of course, still have a previous outstanding lunch still to square up on that Fenny owes the other four of us, or five of us, I should say. Unfortunately, yourself not. You're welcome to come, Tom, but I'm not going to speak for Fenny and say he'll be footing your bill on that particular.
I'll extend the olive branch.
Oh, thank you, Fenny.
I'll extend the ginger beef, as it were.
I love ginger beef.
The chopstick.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious. Okay, we've got so much to talk about on this show today. The game on Saturday. You guys, did you go, Fenny? Brando, I know you were there.
I caught a serious case of the man cold this long weekend, so I gave my tickets to my buddy and loafed it on the couch.
Okay, and then Brandon was there.
I was there. Yeah. Me and Conman up in the press box amongst a large group of individuals covering the game from a media perspective. I know there were many others taking it in as fans out in the stands of Commonwealth, which was very full.
Outstanding.
31,700 the announced attendance. I would say somewhere between a third and 40% of the patrons at Commonwealth were Riders faithful. I would think they were very well represented, but the Elks fans did their part and they turned up, they turned out, packed the lower bowl, got a pretty good contingency into the upper bowl as well.
Yep.
And I thought you could really feel it in the fourth quarter on some of the defensive stands the team made to keep themselves in the football game, trying to get the ball back. You could really feel it. You could really hear it. And I'm sure it was even more so prominent for you, Tommy, down at field level.
It was a great game. It was another back and forth, not as electric as the one prior in Regina, but the crowd was fantastic. Absolutely tremendous. Vincenzo on the YouTube side says, what a crowd at the stadium. Absolutely loved the atmosphere. It was wonderful, and it was loud down there. I could only hear some of the chirps that were being hurled my way. There was a bunch of people saying, hi, I played rock, paper, scissors against some guy. I won. He just gave me the nod and goes, rock, paper, scissors. I said, yeah, sure. I went scissors. He went paper. I won.
So what'd you get?
Nothing. Just pride.
Not even a little shot of popcorn or something?
No.
He gets to brag about it on the radio now that he
right.
beat some random guy at rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. It did it in front of his girlfriend, too.
For some, that's enough, I suppose.
Try to show me up. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It was awesome. And there was chaos that I don't know how many people actually saw prior to the game. And I might have been at the root of it all. Unwillingly. So basically, I'm gonna clean this up. I almost started a fight between the Riders and the Elks pre-game. I'll explain it quickly. We have cameras on both sidelines, okay? You'll see the guys, the CFL in-house, they have their camera. You see the pinnies on the CFL in-house people, and they're running up and down the sidelines. They're separate from the TSN people. You see the little pinnies with the TSN logo on our people. Our camera on the Riders sideline pregame went down. There was technical issues. The panel was there, so there was a lot going on. And I go to do the pregame hit, and then the camera guy, Jason, great guy, tells me, by the way, that camera on the other sideline is not working. And I said, that's not good. And he goes, no. So we're going to have to do both interviews pregame right here. And where we were was right beside the Elks tunnel to the locker room. And I'm like, that doesn't sound good, but okay. And we only had a couple minutes before these interviews were going to happen and warm-ups happening. So I go over to Ariel Zer, who's amazing. She's great PR person for the Riders. And I explained to her really quickly what's going on. And she goes, okay, we'll try to make this happen. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like I was just given this information, trying to make the most of a bad situation. I've never experienced this, but I didn't have a camera ever on the 20-something games I've worked before go down like this. She's like, okay, well, we stagger the end of our warm-up with whoever we're playing. We're usually done 5 to 10 minutes before. I was like, okay, great. Let's get him in. Let's get him out. It was Keon Schaefer-Baker. She brings him, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And my A2, who makes sure like all the gear that I'm hauling is always working, Mikey, goes to like also like chaperone him over. And as he's walking over right by the Elks tunnel, they are done their warm-up, and they start going off. And does Keon Schaefer-Baker wait for them to walk off the field? No. He goes right through 15 Elks. And madness ensues. And then Mark Killam runs by screaming at me, oh, this is effing BS, and get this guy bleep, bleep, bleep out of here. What the F, Tom, this, that. And I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, hey, Tom, we're coming to you in a minute. I was sitting there going, I don't know what the hell's going on. We might not be ready to go in a minute. There might be World War III here by the Elks locker room. And then sure enough, like everything dissipates, cooler heads prevail. I'm rattled. I interview Schaefer-Baker, like, I guess the juices are flowing, huh? And he's like, damn right. And then I don't think he swore, but we get through it. And then TJ Luther is the Elks interview. And I'm like, hey, dude, sorry about that fight. He goes, what fight? I didn't see a fight. And I'm like, oh, God. I get through that. Both PR people, Ariel and Mike Arcuri, are just giving it to me. This can never happen again. I'm like, I know this can never happen again. This is craziness. And then I'm like, I'm in so much trouble. I'm like, it's been fun working for the CFL on TSN. I think this is my last game because I just about caused a war. Then a league guy comes up to me and starts giving it to me. I'm like, okay, here's what happened. I am sorry. I didn't know what to do. I was fed this scenario with no heads up and tried to tap dance my way through it. And he was actually pretty reasonable. He was really nice about it. He's like, hey, we just can't have that again. I'm like, no kidding. And then Ed Hervey is walking by, and I see Arcuri talking to him, and I go apologize to Ed. He's like, it's all good. He's like, it's good to get fired up. And, you know, I hope my guys use it as something that motivates them. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then Killam and I had to have a talk after. I think we're okay. I was rattled, boys. That was one. I've been in this business 19 years. I've been on many, many live broadcasts. Nothing like that has ever occurred to me where I'm just like, well, that's a new one.
Well, I think things like that probably haven't happened to many broadcasters because it's not something you see very often. The pregame scrap, the pregame brawl.
Right.
Now, it's funny because there's been so much talk over the years about, you know, pregame incidents in the NHL compared to other sports because there's no officials on the field and on and on. I'd be like, and in football in particular, I don't know. It just kind of seems like it wouldn't really, like, the field's so big and the guys are in theory like so far apart from each other. And usually, like, correct me if I'm wrong, there's parts where they're not even on the field at the same time, right? Like, it's like one team goes through their progressions and then the next does after the fact. So it makes sense that it wouldn't happen very often. I'm kind of happy that you got to be in the middle of it, so we get the up close account. But I hope that it doesn't have any further impact on, of course, your interactions with the team, being the Elks, any visiting teams, and then of course your great work you continue to do for the CFL and TSN sidelines.
Thank you. I hope it was adequate on Saturday because I was frazzled for the first half. Frazzled. So like I don't know.
Understandably so, I would say.
They threw down to me a couple times. Like I don't know what I just said.
I blacked out.
I blacked out. What do I do with my hands? Thank you, Brandon. That was very nice of you. But yeah. And then we had that hour and 15. Shout out to everybody who stuck around with the hour and 15 lightning delay plus halftime. Well done. Like that was old time Eskimos, Elks, Commonwealth Stadium vibes. And I loved it. And I hope we see more of that. If this team continues to play well, tough loss the other day. More of that, please. Please and thank you. Delta Valley Jeff chiming in via the text line. Sounds like something our courier would do. Guy's been doing it for a while. I like our courier. He's great. I like him. Dave in Section T says, beat him in front of his girlfriend. Attaboy, Tom. Yes, rock, paper, scissors. Luck of the draw, Dave in Section T. Harry says, rock, paper, scissors, throat punch. I win. Why would you do that? Cal in the Park says, welcome back, Tommy. Thank you, 1440, for the tickets to Saturday's game. Got to meet Eddie Steele. Great guy. Watch you protect your hair during the game. Too funny. Have a great show, guys. I did protect. I had the jacket, the rain jacket with the hoodie.
Even after you got the green light to go polo again.
Yes.
I saw you down there in your little beige polo, and I immediately went right to my weather app and say, uh-oh, Tommy better not be trying to pull a fast one on us again. But you got the pass. 30 degrees is what my weather app said it was in Edmonton at the time of kickoff. So you get the green, and then it was all for nothing because then you got to put your coat on as the rain starts coming down. I know. Can't win.
I kept it off for the most part, so it was good. And great to have the panel. They're awesome. The adoration for Kate Burness is real. She is lovely. She's fantastic. And then Davis, Enoch, and Milt are great as well. Davis saved Milt's life. Someone threw a shoe.
Who throws a shoe? Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah, really.
Who throws a shoe? And Davis caught it like old times when he was playing defensive back for many teams in the CFL, including this San Diego Chargers.
The Superchargers.
Yes, sir. And it was great. It was a good time. Hopefully we have more of that electricity. And the Rider fans brought it. I asked Trevor Harris post-game, I'm like, they almost feel like a home game at times. He goes, Rider pride, baby. He's like, nobody does it better than Mosaic Stadium. So a little bit of a slight towards the fans. He's like, I know they got a long way to go here. So no love lost there. But yeah, it was good. Really quickly, before we go to break, Tim says, good morning, boys. Welcome back, Tommy. Question for you, sir. What's the biggest nightmare for you? A, coming back to work after a week off to seeing all the trips. No, I actually kind of appreciate that. I like it, Tim. B, the security personnel at Commonwealth Stadium, for the most part, outside of that one grumpy guy that doesn't like TSN that I learned about, security personnel is pretty good there. And then C, TSN cables on the sidelines. When the TSN cables on the sidelines go down and don't work, and we got a camera that doesn't work and it creates a fight, that's the scariest for me, Tim. That's the scariest for me. Great questions. Appreciate that very, very much. All right, we're off and running. We're going to join Low Tide right away here. We're going to take a quick break here on the Gazzola Show on Sports 1440. Be right back after this.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the pro press fitting to my copper pipe.
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero-gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back, leadingedgephysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, big boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap, just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wore jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, denim man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$7:23. Good morning. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. It's the Gazzola Show presented by Bet365 here on Sports 1440. Join the conversation. Hit us up on the text line 1-833-401-1440. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can chime in there on the chat. Always appreciate that too. It's ready to rock and roll. We're talking hockey with Low Tide. Alan Mitchell on the phone line. Alan, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm well. I'm very well. It was a great long weekend. I did lots, but I feel like I took a lot of time to rest too. So I feel recharged. Not right now, but I will when I have a coffee.
It is early. Yeah, you need that coffee to get you going. What was the highlight of your weekend, Al?
Well, the football game was great. It really was. For me, it was inspiring. Over 30,000 to watch the Elks at Commonwealth, like old times. They lost, but they made a really good effort, and I think they forced the Rough Riders to play as well as they could. That's going to be a dynamite Western final, and we're still up in the air about where it's going to be played, but I don't think there's any doubt those are the two teams. I really enjoyed the trade deadline. One of the things in sports, I'm a total nerd, so one of the things in sports that always fascinates me is when a player is in the same city as he gets traded to that team during the day. And that happened with Varsho. I don't know if people know that, but Varsho got traded yesterday. And so, there was a scene where he and Springer, and I'm not sure who else was out there, they hugged each other. I love that stuff. The trade deadline is nuts. Why do you play a game on the same day as a deadline? But he played. It was pretty wild.
That has happened in hockey a bunch of times, and I think the Oilers have been involved in a couple of those. I think early 90s. Do you know which player was traded? Was it Esa Tikkanen? No.
Yeah, I think it was Tikkanen. I know Dougie Waite was traded before game 2. And he didn't have time to tell his wife, this is the legend. So she's with the New York Rangers wives at Madison Square Garden, and she's looking for her husband, which, I mean, the unreal anxiety, I'm married to this fellow. He plays for the New York Rangers, and I can't find him. And then she finds him over on the standing at the blue line for the anthem on the other team. So that was pretty wild. One of the craziest was, and I'm going to get it not quite right, but in like 1983, an outfielder named Joel Youngblood was playing in a doubleheader, Cincinnati Reds versus the Montreal Expos. And between doubleheaders, he was traded from Cincinnati to Montreal. So he played for both teams on that day. The first one, I believe, for Cincinnati, the second for Montreal. And he had gotten traded between games.
Wow. Didn't Danny Jansen, didn't something happen with him?
Yes, I think you're right. I believe you're right. I can't remember it. Damn it. I hate memory. I can remember, 1978 like it was yesterday, but anything in the 2000s is a blur.
This was a few years ago where he technically played for both teams in the same game, but it had been delayed and they had to replay it.
It was like a month later or whatever. Yeah. Which is like, for anybody who's scraping data, I'm sure it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, probably. There's a bunch of texts that are coming in. Like Brad Isbister says, Scuffed Darren had to walk across the hall to the Oilers from the Islanders.
Oh, man, that's going back. I always liked him. He didn't turn out to be the player we hoped, but a lot of those big guys get hurt. So,
Yeah, Tim says Danny Jansen played in the same game for both teams. That's what it was, Tide. It was this really weird scenario where he technically ended up playing for both teams in the same game.
Well, you were on I think you were on 2 different radio broadcasts for 2 different companies in the same day or close to recently. So you're kind of in that that group.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Hey, staying on the baseball topic, because there's been news, and it's in regard to like possible expansion to Canada. And I know that the MLB does want to expand to 32 teams. Vancouver over Montreal. Tide, what would you say to that? Because I know Vancouver is now getting into they have a memorandum of understanding or some sort of agreement with the potential owner of said MLB team in Vancouver, and they're talking about maybe working towards building a baseball specific stadium. They wouldn't play at BC Place. But what would you say to Vancouver getting a team before the Expos ever returning to the MLB?
Well, I think Vancouver getting a team is fantastic, and they've got a built-in rivalry with Seattle, which would take off. So that's terrific. But the Montreal market never did abandon the Expos. They had a terrible stadium to play in.
Yep.
It was antiseptic. The giant pieces of concrete were falling. It wasn't acceptable. It wasn't a good place. But the fans loved the Montreal Expos. Montreal is a great baseball city, and I think it's ridiculous. What happened in the Montreal Expos was that the ownership group didn't want that team, but they wanted a different major league team, and they ended up switching out to the Miami Marlins. But Montreal is a great city. Bud Selig and George Steinbrenner decided they didn't want to be there, and they did everything they could to screw over the Montreal Expos, including making them play on the road and not allowing them recalls for during a year where they had a chance to win the division. Montreal deserves and should have a Major League Baseball team, but I'd love to see Vancouver as well. If Vancouver had a Major League Baseball team, I'd be flying out there a little more often than I do now, which is like not at all. So,
one last thing on this, because I always feel like the MLB uses Montreal and the return of the Expos potentially as a red herring to get what they want with other markets. Remember the whole Tampa Bay scenario where it's like, well, we could play half the home games in Montreal and half the home games in Tampa. And, we could split the team. And I was like, that is such BS. And they always tug on the heartstrings of Expos fans every time they do that. Do you think that's what the league does, is use them as a red herring? Because that's my instinct.
Oh yeah, and Major League Baseball as an entity is just, I mean, they are just the worst. And it happens. I remember when the owners were having discussions about the arena and all that. Daryl Cates went, I think, to Seattle.
Yes, Monday Night Football.
Yeah. So look, it is unseemly. We'll put it that way. But Major League Baseball has used Montreal in that way, and MLB has it's thriving now. They're going to go on. They're going to lock them out next year, and it'll harm the industry tremendously. Yeah. But the Major League Baseball owners they're just a bunch of old people who don't like to turn on the lights. I think they were happiest during the pandemic when they didn't have to do anything.
It's incredible. And you know what? That is not even a crazy statement, Tide.
No,
it's not.
Isn't. And people sometimes when I say that, they push back, and I'm like, no, I'm telling you that there should be an age limit on owning franchises, because I think when you hit like 90, you're like, man, where's my soup? You're just not, you do not care as much as you used to. And because of that, MLB fans suffer. They do, because, old people don't like to get out of bed. I'm almost there, but I'm not quite there yet.
No, you're not there. You're not there. Alan Mitchell, Low Tide, joining us from the Lowdown with Low Tide. That's right here on Sports 1440. And yeah, I mean, like John Fisher in, not Oakland anymore, but with the A's, there's a miserable owner. And then who owns the Pirates? Bob Nutting, I think is his name.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
richer than Roosevelt and doesn't spend a dime.
Yeah.
Although he's getting better, but I mean they have like they have like 5 stunning starting pitchers.
Yeah.
And they were rolling out, remnants and roll-ends at first base and third base last year. They're better this year because they've been embarrassed into doing it. But, it's just complete garbage. And I know people are all mad about the Los Angeles Dodgers, but the Dodgers stepped up.
Yeah.
Google's a rental. And Milwaukee Brewers should have acquired Tarek Skubal. That's the story. They didn't. And now, I've got, Donovan preparing to come on my show today and lose his brain because he's got so much anger and rage over Skubal to LA. He's happy they traded Hoffman, but unhappy that Jays traded Gausman. So that's basically the show. I just have to make sure his mic is on, and it's all over, baby. But, I feel like Major League Baseball is a great league that can't get out of his own way.
Yeah.
And they harm themselves so many different ways. But the deadline was a blast. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's there's a box of tissues here for Dono. So if you need it, actually there's 2 boxes of tissues if he's going to be that upset about the Jays. I'm just letting you know. This one's a little bit low. I think the other one's more full. So
I have a question for you, Tommy.
Yeah.
Because you're on TV. You look good, by the way. You do the sideline reporting very well.
Thank you.
You look to me like a guy who could don the pads and get out there, but that's just me. Anyway, I have a question for you. This is look, I love the NHL trade deadline. It's one of my favorite days.
Yeah.
But James Duthie is just the best at what he does. But they spend all day, like 6 hours, talking about, a backup goalie, third pairing defenseman, fourth line center getting traded. And it is, it's a beautiful thing. I love it. I just absolutely love trade deadline. I love doing trade deadline on the air, but sometimes there's not a lot by the time you get to trade deadline.
Yep.
In Major League Baseball, there's no Major League Baseball trade deadline show, and there was like 7,000 players traded yesterday. My question to you, Mr. TV man, is why on earth don't they have one?
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask Rogers why they don't do one on their station on Sportsnet. Yeah,
that would have been a huge thing.
Tied to, if you have 5 channels, and I know both networks do, right? Yep. If you have that much available airtime, quote unquote, you could probably whip together a decent deadline show that's maybe 2 hours long. You want to make money off it. You get your salespeople to sell it, make a little bit of money on the side, and you probably get a lot of eyeballs on it. Honestly,
yeah,
it's just,
and especially in the year after you went to the World Series, where people are mad as hell at Hoffman and Varsho too, to be honest. And you could do that. Like, I don't understand. And maybe it's just a one-off, and next year it'll be boring. But man, if you look at the number of transactions that happened yesterday, you couldn't possibly. Your mind would be mush by the time the show was over. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's just it feels like it's an easy layup. Yep. And you could honestly, if you wanted to do a quick 2-hour show, you'd probably run 3 commercial breaks, probably the same type of clock we do on our station.
Yep, exactly.
Just do it on the
Have
TV
an
side.
expert, somebody who knows the league really well,
and
then talking head, and then you go. Like I mean, I guess maybe we should be television executives making gobs of cash.
You know what? I think you and I would do just fine, and we'd have a good staff around us, and and we'd make magic. Right?
Yeah, I need medical and dental coverage. That's that's what I need. That's all I ask for.
You know what? Where there's a will, there's a way, Ty. There's a way to make it happen. Okay, I have to ask you something because you wrote something interesting recently. You were talking about Max Jones and Trent Frederick and kind of their roles being somewhat similar. And when I was reading that article, I thought to myself, it reminds me of the Pat Maroon, Milan Lucic scenario.
Man, that's a really good pull. Yeah,
and 2 big men, and there was only room for one of them, and the guy that had the contract got to stay, and they moved the guy that they shouldn't have out, and he went on to win a bunch of Stanley Cups.
It's true, and they had Maroon before they had Lucic, I believe, and then they Chiarelli just absolutely had to get the big man. And ended up trading Hall for Larson, and it didn't work out like at all ever. And yet Maroon was perfect for that line, and the Oilers couldn't afford him because of the cap and all of that, and they ended up sending the better player away and keeping Lucic in his untradeable contract. Until they finally did deal with Calgary, who did the Oilers a tremendous favor. People have forgotten in trading for who did they get back now? I can't remember.
James Neal.
James Neal.
And that was good for a while. Then it died
but
quickly.
they could buy him. Lucic was unbuyoutable, so getting Neal was perfect for the Oilers. But you're right, and I mean, like, I love Frederick. Trent Frederick's one of my favorite players. I think he's going to have a great year. But if he doesn't, and Jones emerges, then you're exactly right. And it's not impossible. Jones looked good in 21 games at the end of the year, and he was not playing with McDavid every night. He was doing good things. So we'll see. But the reason I wrote the article was I keep reading everybody go, well, the roster's set. Okay. All right. Everybody always says that, but there's injuries, and there's, somebody has spent the summer running up a mountain behind their house, and somebody else has been partying every night. And we're going to find out. That's what training camp is. It's the sun in the morning when you've been out all night and got a tremendous hangover. It's like God's flashlight. And that's what training camp is.
This training camp is going to be interesting because it's very quick. And I think 13 days after the commencement of training camp, we have our first regular season game on the schedule.
And Mike Babcock's going to pick up a lot of players. It's going to be. I think that there is a possibility the Oilers start slowly because Babcock might not have a good hand on the team yet. It's going to be a quick one. I think a slight disadvantage, even though Babcock's an experienced coach, slight disadvantage for the Oilers that it's so short.
We're going to see. We're going to see. And then you also touched on Ike Howard a little bit. I know people are kind of, do you get the sense that people are excited about Howard or they're cautious about Howard?
I think both, cautiously excited sounds ridiculous, but I think that there's two things about Howard. The way the Oilers brought Matt Savoy in last year, he played fourth line, played penalty kill, and then after January 1st, he moved up and had a more substantial role, including more offensive role. With Howard, I respect that he went down and he worked really hard at Bakersfield and he did a lot of good things, but I think he is wired a little differently than Savoy, and I don't know that you could, bury him on a depth line and get the same results as Savoy delivered. And my feeling is a lot of people are optimistic about him if Mike Babcock likes him, but there's always a possibility that the coach goes, man, this guy isn't ready, and he goes down to Bakersfield. So I think he's a kind of an all or nothing prospect, and we'll see, because Kapanen could slide in on the right side on the second line, and then do you need him for the third line because you have so many veterans who can play a two-way game?
It's going to be interesting. I hope he gets a chance, Tide, and they can really genuinely test him out and not shortchange him with an opportunity, because that could look like a brutal trade if it crashes and burns.
And also, people don't want to say it out loud, but Savoy replaced Nugent Hopkins on the top line. And eventually, somebody like Zach Hyman is going to, he's a great player, but he's hurt sometimes, and he is getting a little bit older.
Yes.
And the replacement is Ike Howard. So if people don't think Ike Howard is important, they need to rethink it. He's vital. They don't have anybody else. Podkolzin was a gift, but you don't get them very often. You need young top six forwards, and the center positions are taken care of. Ike Howard is really important to the Oilers.
Hey, we're just over a month away from training camp starting. I think September 11th, the rookies report. September 16th, main camp gets going. The juices are starting to flow, Tide. The juices are starting to flow. Yep.
Love it. Awesome.
I love the fact that I get to do this with you on a weekly basis. This is awesome. Tide, thank you. I'll see you later, okay?
All right, sounds good. Sean Bell today on the round table, and Donovan will be crying in his soup.
Okay, the Kleenex box. We'll get a fresh one for Donovan just in case, okay?
You bet. Be good, bye.
There you go. There's Low Tide. The lowdown coming up later on. Today here on Sports 1440, we're going to step out for a quick breather. When we come back, a bunch of texts have come in. Football, baseball, a little bit of hockey stuff, a smattering, a potpourri, if you will, of things that myself, Brando, and Fenny will get after at the conclusion of hour number one here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
At GS Construction, people grow with the company. 50 years of experience doesn't live in a binder on a shelf. It lives in our people at every level, passed down on every site. Many of us started with a shovel in our hands and built whole careers here. The work is honest. The company's been around since 1974. So if it all sounds good to you and you want to grow with us, GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. No shovel required. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Summer weekends in Alberta mean one thing: tournament season.
I brought the folding chairs. I brought the sunscreen. I brought the umbrella, just in case.
But who brought the snacks to get through a doubleheader?
I got Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the ultimate sideline fuel. Whether you're cheering on the kids or watching the pros, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, We are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Lovely Tuesday. Great to be back. Hope you're doing well out there. Short work week. Let's have some fun this week. We have a great show for you. It's already been a lot of fun, and it's only going to get better. Spec will join us in about 13 minutes. Cordell Woodland out of Baltimore with 105.7 The Fan. He's our headliner of the day. He'll give us the scoop on the Ravens, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about the O's and their deadline. Belsey will be joining us. He'll be co-hosting from 9 to 11. Get to swap out Thursday for today. He has a prior commitment that he has to take care of. I said, let me talk to Brandon and see if it's okay. Brandon said, yes, approved.
Green light.
Green
Always.
light.
I was, before I'd got that, I'd floated the notion out to 180 Steel last Friday saying, hey, Eddie, you don't go to work on Monday.
Ooh.
Do you want to come in on Tuesday? And he's always open to it. Now, he's a very busy guy as well. He's got other things on the go. So it kind of, worked out just fine that Belsey's going to come in today instead. But I still got my Eddie Steele fill on a Monday. I went and golfed with him yesterday morning. 6:20 tee off.
Oh, my goodness.
At down at Colonial.
You guys.
He had the time. I'd just floated it to him about going out on holiday Monday. And he's like, well, I got news for you. Got one spot open on this time with another former double ear, Grant Shaw.
Excellent.
G Money, as he's referred to in some circles. And then a gentleman that works with Grant, Esky.
Oh, okay.
And just a beauty of a guy. A lot of fun to play with, and big listener to the station too.
Nice.
So I don't know if he's listening right now, but definitely want to give him a little bit of love. And yeah, the four of us had a really casual morning. We breezed through the tea time.
How quick?
I think it was under 4 hours.
That's
and it was cart path only. Just because of the moisture that came in there, obviously over the weekend on Saturday evening, I should say in particular. But no, course was still in good shape. A little soggy in some spots, but to be expected. So,
yeah.
Really fun holiday Monday, and it was Grant's birthday too. So happy belated birthday to Elks legend, Eskimos legend.
Well, I believe, and I said this, he was the best part of that trade for Ricky Ray that came back to Edmonton. Because it wasn't Steven Giles.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you that much. So, cool. And that's cool that he's a local product too, right? Like, I know he's still here, but.
I don't know.
Or he's made Edmonton
he's
home.
Definitely made Edmonton his home.
Which is great to see.
I'm seeing he is from somewhere. Edmonton. So there you go.
How about that?
Good pull, Tommy.
Thank you.
That's why you're the pros pro. You know these things. You've mingled with these people.
Your check's in the mail for saying that.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Let's get to some text. 1-833-401-1440. This one from Chomskers. Zip this one in. Said Howard will score 29 this year. Bookmark this text. I hope you're right, Chomskers. Jay in Victoria says tough loss for the Double E this weekend. Hope the crowd when I'm there versus the Argos is at least 22K. Well, the Dodgers have demonstrated the need for a cap, I guess. Strike will be here next year. Mr. G, welcome back. Douglas in the mornings held the fort. Maybe that's why Kevin and you take so many holidays. You're just developing your employees like leaders do. Hey, they're developed. Brando's been in this game for a while now, but ready to step in.
It's all a process.
It's a process.
It's all part of the process. Hopefully with better results than the Philadelphia 76ers process.
My goodness. LeBron.
You like that?
I don't know what to make of it.
Because that came down right before you took off, right? Like halfway through that Friday show
Yeah.
when I was away. And so when I got the news, because I was golfing that morning, and I got the news, and I was like, man, I kind of wish I was at work right now. This is insane. And so we revisited it obviously a little bit last week. But yeah, just wild times.
I think it was real. Yeah, because Fenny, you talked about it a bit at the end of the show on that Friday.
Yeah, I think the signing right before golfing with the G-Man, like right while you're in the middle of
That's
an interview, talking to that guy from the Rams. I just can't remember his name right now.
He was awesome.
Rogers. Yeah, he was great. And he ended his hit with, well, I've finished your show for the rest of it. LeBron's just been traded. Little does he know we live in Canada, but good effort.
Yes. But it was discussed throughout.
It was
on
discussed
the station.
throughout.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
listening in, and we did get to it as much as we could. Absolutely. Can Crush 65 says, you guys can't appreciate an ex-Jasper Place Rebel that hard. Shaw is a beauty. Westside J says, yeah, he went to JP High School. See, there you go. Like you said, he's a beauty.
He's a beauty. And
And
good golfer, too. Nice with it. He can pound the ball, as you'd expect. You know, a lot of these, they're former pro athletes, for goodness sake, and especially guys like Grant and Eddie that keep themselves in pretty fine shape. They can stripe it out there.
Well, oddly enough, during the lightning delay, I was discussing golf briefly with Jake Julian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he as long off the tee as he is off his leg?
I would imagine so. He is a thick individual, and there is power in that body, obviously, with the way he can punt a football. We were talking about, some of our favorite spots in and around the city. Give a shout out to Murray McCourt over at the ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think Murray.
Yeah,
Murray
I think they do a pretty good job looking after the football club.
Yes, very much so. And I think some of the Oilers were at the game. I was told Matt Savoy was at the game. Colton Dock was supposed to be there. I love the fact that game was the place to be over the weekend. I know BVJ was going on. But
Sunday night apparently got canceled at BVJ because of that rain.
Oh, man, that sucks. I mean, we've just this summer and the weather has been absolutely insane. I was at Post Malone the night it got rained out.
Belsy and I talked about that last week. You guys can maybe recount some more of it. Because when you guys were there, I was at the Riverhawks game.
Right.
And so kind of seeing it all come in, and then the whole time I was standing there waiting for it to pass, because we're like on the concourse at Remax waiting for slow down a little bit to get an Uber. the whole time I was thinking, I was like, man, Commonwealth is probably insane.
It was.
It's all I could think about.
It was nuts. I'm glad you thought about it. That's very kind of you.
And then my next thought was, how quickly can we get an Uber out of here to the pub?
That's exactly what Belzy and I did.
It was pretty short order. We managed to sneak our way out.
Well done. That's it's a veteran move, as they say. Yeah, that was crazy. Like, listen, I know Post Malone. I like some of his songs.
Personally?
No. Listen, let me just pick up that heavy name I dropped. No, I know some of his music.
Right.
But I'm not like
Not a diehard.
So I was like, that sucks. And Jelly Roll was like nice, but
I heard it was pretty sermon-esque.
Oh, there was some preaching.
Yeah.
There was some preaching.
Which he's got a pretty interesting journey. I mean, hey, tell your story.
He did.
For sure. But
He really did.
Personally, if I had tickets to that show, I would have been looking much more forward to the Post Malone portion than the Jelly Roll portion.
Yeah.
Which I think probably is the case for many of the attendees. Obviously disappointing.
Yeah, that sucks. There was like stage damage.
Oh, God, I couldn't imagine. Like, I think about those wins and stuff and like some of those towers and the construction and the speakers. Like,
yeah,
it's a miracle that nobody gets hurt in a serious capacity. And then the actual just like cost of the things that do get busted up a little bit is probably pretty steep, I would think.
Yeah, trees everywhere. Even last week, it took me 2 hours to get home from Silent Ice Center because of all the flooding on the bridges going into downtown.
Oh, yeah, right.
That was crazy. I was watching the video. I'm like, what is going on? Why is everything backed up? And I'm like, I know we had that crazy storm briefly, but I had to drive all the way down White Ave to Capilano, go across there, and then come back via like by 111th Ave to come back down. Like, it was just the weather we're getting.
I buzzed down
nuts.
to Stettler Sunday afternoon and on Highway 21, basically right beside the Belvedere golf course, just as a reference point. Like, there's kind of a big slough-ish thing. It's essentially across the highway.
Wow.
It is right to the edge of the pavement on both sides.
Unbelievable. I want watch August be hot and dry.
Wouldn't shock me.
You know?
That's the thing about weather, Tom. You really never know.
You never know. Alberta, baby.
And I saw Josh Clausen had put it out last week that this isn't statistically the wettest summer in the history of the city.
Clausen would know. That man is a beauty. He knows his stuff. King of Fort Nasty chiming in says, you still see, speaking of baseball, pardon me, you still see so many Expos paraphernalia out there today. Crazy the fan base they've maintained after all these years. I'm with Tide. Has to be Montreal. Cheers. King of Fort Nasty. Yeah, I just feel like they're dragging Montreal along and tugging on the heartstrings of Expos fans. I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, Vancouver all of a sudden is in the mix for an MLB expansion team. Craziness. All right, that's our number one. Spec on the way next. We got to get to the Sports 1440 update with Brando, brought to you by All-Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities, specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunication, and street lighting. That's All-Star Construction. Here's Brando.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Breaking news out of the NFL this morning. Atlanta Falcons and Pro Bowl running back Bijan Robinson coming to terms on a 3-year extension worth up to $75 million. That will make him the highest paid running back in NFL history. Across the majors yesterday, Toronto Blue Jays open up their set in Houston with a win. Alejandro Kirk homering to propel the Jays to a 3-1 victory. Elsewhere, Yankees fall to the Cards 13-7. Rays over the Rockies in a high-scoring affair 13-9. And the Cubbies double up on the Dodgers 10-5. Yesterday was also the trade deadline across the major leagues of baseball. And the Blue Jays started off their sell-off trend, sending Dalton Varsho to Houston in exchange for right-handed pitcher Spencer Arrighetti. Also, Jeff Hoffman sent to Minnesota in exchange for a trio of prospects. And in case you missed it, the day prior, veteran starter Kevin Gausman traded to the Chicago Cubs. Outfielder Brett Bateman and infielder Ty Seldacine required in the deal. They also did some buying, bringing in right-handed pitcher Jose Soriano from the LA Angels in exchange for 3 prospects, including organizational number 2, Arjun Nimala. Other big names on the move at the deadline. Clay Holmes to the Cubbies. Adley Rutschman, former number 1 pick, shipped to Boston. Luis Arraez lands in Philly. Luis Garcia to the Yankees. And, of course, over the weekend, Tarek Skubal sent to Los Angeles to join the Dodgers. Edmonton Riverhawks kick off their final series of the regular season last night in Bellingham with a 5-4 victory over the Bells. And Hlinka Gretzky Cup kicked off yesterday from here in the city. Canada beating Switzerland in their opener 7-3. Coming up in hour 2 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector and Cordell Woodland from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore, covering the Orioles and Ravens. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero-gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back. LeadingEdgePhysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything.
You can't just wear it.
I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think expressions and images. Your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
This summer, cheer on your favorite teams at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in the house with tons of big screens. Plus, Sully's Big League menu has it all. Small bites and big bites, game day food and drink features, something for everyone. From the gridiron to the diamond, this is the place to catch all the action all summer long. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino. Alberta. We're wild and tough and beautiful. We agree that good enough isn't good enough. And though everything that matters starts with a home and a family. At Lux, our family has been handcrafting windows and doors for this incredible place for over half a century. There's no place we'd rather be. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no breaks. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Hour number 2, Tom Gazzola Show here on Sports 1440. Good morning. Hope you're doing well out there. Enjoy the conversation. 1-833-401-1440. Of course, we're brought to you by Bet365. Really appreciate having them on board with us. Also, I know a lot of people out there like to sprinkle a little bit here, a little bit there, but if gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply. That is terms and conditions. As we welcome in Mark Spector for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Stop in, see their great collection at northgategm.com. Hi, Spec. How are you?
Oh, doing pretty well, Tommy. Recovering after a busy weekend, watching a little football, keeping track of the Cubbies, watching the Jays, watching Tom Gazzola trying to make a 2-hour halftime show watchable. I was waiting for you to show up with like a little tap dancing gig or
Oh, okay, Spec. I have a story for you. So they had the shelter in place order, right? And you've been a part of live broadcasts. You know that it can be chaotic behind the scenes and everything on camera looks fine and steady and calm, but it isn't. It's like the duck paddling beneath the water.
Yes.
And so they had to get Kate, Milt, Henoch, and Davis out of the northwest corner where they were set up with their studio, mini studio with the tent.
Yep.
And they had to make them shelter in place by the Elks locker room. And that's where I was as well. But they're like, Tom, we need your IFB pack and we need your microphone. And I'm like, well, I'm not in charge. So, yeah, take it. And they gave it to the panel. And then they had the panel doing those interviews, which I went and set up with the Elks and the Riders. Thank you to Mike Arcuri and Ariel Zerv for complying and being good to deal with. They were awesome. But it was crazy, Spec, because like the panel did a hit, right? And it ended up being an hour and 15-minute delay.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, I talked about it earlier in the show. There was some craziness pregame. Got fed a crap sandwich, basically. And I was rattled by it, to be quite honest. And I was just trying to like exhale for a moment. And I'm like, okay, the panel's got this. And I was sitting and standing by them as they were doing their thing. And then they're like, Tom, they want you to do an interview. I'm like, they want me to do an interview. Like, you guys are here. And then I managed we got Javon Leake and Del Duncan Busby, which were great interviews. But yeah, that was it. It was chaotic, Spec. It really was. At the end of the night, after I finished my last interviews and the post game in the Elks room, that was one where I just went and had like 5 beers. I was just like, I need a break.
Well, I think that, like I've been a little bit involved in that, not as much as you, but some I get it. And to me, it's always little things like TSN's a big entity. They put on giant football games. They know what they're doing, but they don't bring equipment to set like 4 people up from one end of the stadium where they're all wired into the desk and everything's all technically set up the day before and all that. Then you got it. All of a sudden it's raining and they need to move the other side of the stadium away from all their setup.
Yep.
And then they got to hastily fix all of them with what we call IFBs, which are basically wires you in so you could stand where Tom stands, which is all over the stadium at some points. Like you can move around right with an IFB. And they don't have that stuff. They don't have 5 of them sitting around down there, So they gotta improvise. It's always as a guy sitting there having a beer, watching it going on and paying 3/4 attention because I was in a room full of people. But you could see that the webbed feet were paddling pretty hard beneath the water line. Like that thing went on a long time that halftime.
Yeah.
And I knew there was a bunch of guys in the truck going, okay, what are we going to do next? I don't know, but when's this thing going to end? I don't know.
Oh, that's the other thing. Well, obviously you've got a good instinct for that and you've experienced some of the live broadcast aspect of it, but the league officials were coming to me to give me updates. And I'm like, I will pass that along to more important people. So that
But anyway, it's a good football game.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, what did you take away from that game? Because in stadium was phenomenal despite the result, but it was a great atmosphere. What did you take away from the game, Spec?
Yeah, like you can't, you can't judge your night on, did my team win or not? It's more, did I get entertained? Did my team compete? Was it a close game? Did my team give me everything they had? And I really felt like, it was 2 good teams, the same way the Elks won the game in Saskatchewan right near the end. This time it was Regina's turn, and they were good. They were, they were 2 points better or whatever they were. They made a bunch of plays down the stretch when they had to. The Edmonton secondary couldn't keep them out of the end zone when they had to, and couldn't quite the D-line couldn't get a sack when they needed one. It was one of those, like, what does football people always tell us? Every game's decided around there's 4 or 5 plays in every game that really decide the game. And if there's 5 plays, Saskatchewan made 3 of them. And you don't get to win every night. Certainly really an entertaining game. Watched it to the very end, and I was in a room full of people out here at Alberta Beach that it's amazing. Usually it's me and 1 or 2 guys watching. Now we had about 15 people at a house. Everyone it was our own little watch party, which doesn't happen for the Elks very often, let me tell you what. And everybody was completely entertained. So, mission successful, right? Full house, great football. Didn't quite win, still in first place. That sounds like everyone went pretty good on Saturday night.
That was the place to be. It was, and this football team's legit, regardless of the result the other night. And I love the fact that people are talking about them again.
Yeah.
And they seem to care. So a lot of boxes are being checked, and it's nice to see that the passion is starting to show through again, regardless of the name. Obviously, the results have been much better this year, but yeah, it's a big step in the right direction. I think this team, is that the West Final? Is that a preview? I know they play one more time later this season, but to you, are there any other teams in the West? And I know there's a lot of football left to be played that could step up and compete with the Elks and the Riders.
Yeah, there's tons. We're barely into the second third of the season. I'd say to you that Calgary, certainly every time I watch them play, they move the ball like crazy. Calgary has an unbelievable offense. I think they still have the most points in the league. I'm not sure on that.
They're right up there, yeah.
But they're right up there. So, if Calgary can find a little bit of defense, they're going to be tough to beat, right? Because they can score like crazy. So we're not done yet. There's tons of time. This will come down to like it's supposed to. Hopefully a very good semifinal out here or whatever they're doing with their playoffs these days, and a Western final that everybody wants to watch.
Just on the Calgary note, Spec, you're right. And I'm wrong in saying they're right up there. They are head and shoulders above everyone else when it comes to points for. 322 through 8 games. The next closest is Montreal at 273, and they just laid a licking on Ottawa. And then on top of that, I don't know if you caught the Stamps Ticats game before the Elks game, but listening to the panel, they're like, Trey Ford, it's not going so good for him in Hamilton, and I don't know what his future is going to look like. But I thought that was interesting listening to them discuss Trey Ford.
I haven't seen Trey Ford, but let's face it, he got a bit of a chance in Edmonton, a decent chance, and it didn't go his way. Wasn't able to seize control of the opportunity. That's fine. Young guys with their first chance, it often doesn't go their way. Now he's getting a second chance. The starter goes down in Hamilton, and they went to him. He's had a couple starts here, and at some point you got to grab the reins. At some point, opportunity is going to stop knocking here. So for Trey Ford, I haven't watched him play much at all. I've saw a couple quarters of Hamilton of his first start.
Yeah.
You got to get control. It's the old story about opportunity and preparation. I'm sure he's prepared, and I know he's getting opportunity. And if those two things can't intersect and make something happen, that won't be great for Trey Ford as a Canadian quarterback in the CFL.
No. Rooting for Canadian quarterbacks and Canadian skilled players in the CFL anywhere, quite frankly. But if it ain't working and it's happening multiple times over multiple years, then that's kind of an scenario. But we'll see. Maybe he cleans things up. Maybe he has an aha moment and it all comes together. But not good over the weekend for Trey Ford and the Ticats, and the Stamps took care of business against them. All right, it's On the Mark with Mark Spector, brought to you by Northgate Buick GMC. Hey, Spec, tell us about the Cubbies and the deadline with the Jays and the craziness that was trade deadline day in baseball. And unfortunately, every time we talk about how exciting it is, it's always followed up with, well, there's no baseball in 2027, which is a total bummer.
Yeah, I don't even know where to go with that.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays surprised me. We knew they were going to trade away Gausman, and hopefully they wanted to move Varsho, and they did, but they kind of brought in some stuff. It's like they, to their credit, I think if I'm a Jays fan, I think I'm fairly happy. Yeah, you moved away a couple veterans, but they brought in they made their team a little stronger for 2027. So that's the good news. Now, I guess we got to hope there's a season in 2027. I don't know, man. I'm at this stage of my career. I'm sports labored out, buddy.
Yeah.
Billionaires fighting with millionaires over money. It doesn't. It's. I can't think at a time when you go buy $400 of groceries and you can carry it in one trip from the car. I'm supposed to be interested in the billionaire owner and the millionaire player fighting it out. Like, I couldn't be less interested, frankly. I was quite pleased to see Gausman go to the Cubs because I've always really liked Gausman. I like the way he pitches. I like watching him throw. He's a battler. Like, I don't think any Blue Jays fan can say anything negative about Gausman, right?
They love him.
Everyone, you gotta love the guy. He gave Toronto everything. He publicly went out of his way to speak well of Toronto and to tell fellow Americans what a great city it was and how awesome it was. Gotta love the guy. Now he goes to the Cubs, so my Cubs get a really good pitcher and a really good guy, and now we get to cheer for Gausman. At least I do, because I cheer for the Cubs anyhow. So that was awesome. I was kind of happy. That was a great landing spot we talked about last week. I was hoping it would happen, and it did. And the rest of the stuff, man, guys flying all over. The Dodgers get the best pitcher.
Of course they do.
It's a problem. Like, it's this, it's great when you're a Dodgers fan and a Yankees fan, and then everybody else is just sitting on the sidelines doing a golf clap, right? I don't know.
But
I don't love a league like that. Then they got to do something about it, and I hope it doesn't cost them a season, Tom.
Well, neither do I. I like when baseball is. I'm not a hardcore MLB baseball guy, but I watch. I keep tabs on. I like having it on. The Sunday late game where it's the Dodgers playing at Dodger Stadium. It's nice to have, and the labor strife is ridiculous. And you're right. Like, we're labor strifed out because of what hockey has done to us the last couple of times. And now to see baseball going down this road again. And I know they had that during COVID and they settled it and all that, but it's ridiculous. So, like, to me, Spec, like, I don't know. It's annoying. It pisses me off that we're going there again.
Well, we don't. I mean, baseball's got to the place where the same team is, like, this is why hockey got where it was, because the Oilers were sitting there with a $25 million payroll or whatever it was back then, and Colorado, Detroit, and Dallas were up at 75, 80 million, right, in the West. And those three teams ruled the West for most of a decade because they just had way more money. Every time a good player came up, they got him. Every time Forsberg came available, he went to one of those teams. Every time, Dallas stacked up with every good player they could find. Every time Eddie Belfours came available, he went to one of those three teams. And it was no fun for everybody else, is my point. Like, those plucky Oilers, they took a run at Dallas one year and they took a run at Detroit another year. But in the end, when they did win, it was a total long shot. And the rest of the time, you knew who was going to win every night. So it's no good. So I don't care what the sport is or what the country is or who you are. Sport can't be about going to a ballpark or a hockey rink and being 85% sure who's going to win that night every night. It can't be that way. It's no fun. And the World Series is no fun when the Dodgers are in it every year. Sorry, Dodgers fans. No one wants to see that except for you. So that's a problem, and they got to fix it.
Yep. The luxury tax system in MLB, if you're the Dodgers or the Yankees and you can just blow by that budget and pay the luxury tax and it's not a big deal, that's not how it's supposed to be. So you're 100% correct on that, Spec. Yeah, it's disappointing, but we'll see. I mean, hopefully this is a good stretch drive into the postseason for baseball. We'll see what happens. But kind of a downer when you're hearing people go, yeah, but in 2027, there's no baseball. That sucks. Hopefully that's not the case, but we shall see. And everybody who's coming from it, watching it from the hockey world, is just like, oh, been there, done that.
Been there, done that. Yep.
Spec, good stuff as always, my friend. Great to be back, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow morning.
All right, sounds good, Tommy.
There you go. There's Mark Spector with On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Baltimore Ravens and the Orioles. That's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Cordell Woodland joining us from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore as our headliner of the day. He's up next here on the Gazzola Show.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Did you know the Brick is proudly Canadian-owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality-made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a Brick store near you.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers the Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees at participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your #1 air conditioning company. So when you can't take living in oppressive heat any longer,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If your hot, sticky sheets keep you up all night,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you've decided that you deserve to be cool and comfortable,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
And with no payments, no interest for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
$8:22. Good morning. It's the Tom Gazzola Show here on Sports 1440. Of course, this show brought to you by Bet365. You can text us 1-833-401-1440. Lots of baseball chatter, and that'll continue. We'll also dip into training camp down in Baltimore with the Ravens and Cordell Woodland from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore. He is our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing, stepping up to the plate so you won't have to. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrreuter.ca. Good morning, Cordell. Thanks for hopping on today. And I guess let's start with the O's, because yesterday was deadline day. You know, a lot of talk, obviously, north of the border about the Blue Jays selling off some assets. They liked Varsho. He's gone. They really liked Gausman. He's gone. And a disappointing year for Toronto. But the Orioles are right in the mix in the AL East, trying to chase down a wild card spot. And they make a big trade, three-time All-Star, first overall pick. Adley Rutschman goes to the Red Sox. Why did the O's make this move?
Yeah, it seems like for a multitude of reasons. One, it feels like they didn't feel like that they would be able to reach an extension with Adley. It seems like that they had tried multiple times, and Adley just wasn't very receiving to those offers. And let's not forget, they also gave an extension to Samuel Basayo, their other young catcher who's much younger than Adley and may have more, at least, of an upside offensively than Adley. I don't think he's the defensive catcher that Adley is. He definitely isn't right now. And he may not ever turn into that behind the plate. But the O's feel like they have something special with Basayo. So I think that also played a part. And look, Adley, it's a very mixed feelings here in Baltimore. Adley was brought up and he was kind of crowned as the face of the rebuild. The winning started with Adley coming up to Baltimore, and everybody here thought Adley would be a career-long Oriole.
Yeah.
And for it to get here and him traded inside the division, there's an element of disappointment because you can't have it to where calling Adley up makes him the face of the rebuild. Then when you trade him, what does that signal? That signals that it was a failure. The Orioles didn't win a single playoff game with Adley Rutschman here or during the Mike Elias era, period, to this point. So there is skepticism about the future of the Orioles, especially under Mike Elias, but they were able to get 3 of Boston's top 5 prospects in return, a pretty good haul. I mean, that's a bigger haul than what the Tigers got for Scooble. So in that sense, you feel good about the return, but no doubt there is a level of disappointment trading away one of the pillars of the organization.
Yeah, Cordell, I was going to ask you how the reaction was in Baltimore and O's fans, how they're feeling about it, because that's massive, right? So what has your sense been? Like, is there understanding? Is it mixed feelings? Where are O's fans on that?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's mixed feelings. I mean, I think on one hand, a lot of us have accepted that, they had to make the move. We didn't want to see the Manny Machado situation all over again to where you're trading Manny probably a year too late and you're not getting back what you should get back in return for a really good player. In this case, like I said, they get 3 of Boston's top 5 prospects in return. You feel really good about the return, but it's how did we get here? How did we get to the point to where you draft Adley 1-1? And look, obviously now the proof is in the pudding. They probably should have gone with Bobby Witt over Adley Rutschman, but that's a totally different conversation.
Yeah.
Just the fact of there were so many dreams sold. There were so many expectations sold. Orioles fans sat through multiple 100-loss seasons to be able to get in a position to draft guys like Adley and Gunnar Henderson and Jackson Holiday and Samuel Basayo and all these guys. And you look, and a lot of these guys, these young guys that they had high hopes for, haven't been as good as we thought. I mean, even Gunnar Henderson this year, Gunnar looks unrecognizable right now. He's a big reason as to why the Orioles aren't where they want to be. And you look at it, yeah, they're, 2.5 games back of the last wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
But that's more so a byproduct of how bad the American League has been. The Orioles are not a good team. That's clear from watching this team. They are not a good team. And I think from some of the moves you saw up to trade deadline, the Orioles were more so sellers. So I think the organization also knows the realization of this team.
What a buzzkill. That sucks because, yeah, you're right there, too. I know there's a bunch of teams in the mix in the wild card hunt, but if they're a bad ball team, that's not good. But maybe they'll be on the up and up with the haul that they got. Okay, I have to ask you about this, Cordell, because it has come up when we talked about the deadline. I saw a lot of this yesterday in reaction to trade deadline. There was always but there's no baseball next year. That's a dark cloud hanging over the game. What do you make of the labor strife, the impending doom that seems to be coming for sure?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like it's inevitable in some sort of capacity. Like, I'm not to the point to where I don't think that we're not going to have any baseball next year, but I'm fully expecting it to be some sort of shortened season. I mean, with Scooble going to the Dodgers, you're going to have a lot of people yelling, well, this is why you need a salary cap. But I would also argue that I think that played right into the owner's hands. I think owners were rooting for Scooble to go to the Dodgers. I think they're rooting for the Dodgers to have the three-peat because they feel like it proves their case. And we're to the point now to where the owners are starting to try to negotiate in the public. They're running ads about the salary cap. I've seen it on Peacock. I've seen it on MLB TV. It looks like political ads, but they're running it just pushing some of these man on the street snippet interviews of fans saying they want a more balanced league like some of the other major leagues in the sports world. But I think the floor is more important than the cap. You've got to find a way to get some of these cheap owners to stop pocketing this money and start investing in their team. They have all these fans show up all throughout the season for over 80 home games, but they never want to put into the actual product. I don't fault the Dodgers for continuously going after the best players. That's what every team in baseball should do. And I'm not naive to act like everybody can spend the money that the Dodgers are able to spend or the Yankees are able to spend. The Blue Jays last year, one of the highest payrolls in baseball. So there are multiple ways to skin a cat. We're looking at the Rays right now at the top of the American League East. They don't ever spend money, but also the Rays haven't won, the World Series here recently. So I get both sides of the argument, but I think we would have a much better product if some of these cheaper owners would start actually competing and going after some of these bigger players.
I'm glad you brought up the owners in baseball because I was going to say, Cordell, if I told you MLB owners are the worst, you would say what?
I would say you're right. I would say you're absolutely right because this is how they've been pushing for the cap for years. This isn't new. They've been pushing for the cap for years. And one thing about the players union in baseball, they have a much bigger backbone than the NFL, than the NBA, PA. Like they actually fight for things. So that's why we haven't had a salary cap to this point. Now I do think we're probably closer to getting a cap than we've ever been. But the players association is not going to go down without a fight. They're not just going to roll over and give in here. So that's why I do think we're going to have some sort of suspended season in some sort of capacity. But I can't say one way or another whether or not a salary cap is coming. I don't think that's the solution. I think, again, forcing these owners to spend money is more so the problem. But it could end up having a cap because it is pretty close to that, it feels like.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, like you said, we're not dealing with a ton of labor strife. We're not losing a season or anything like that. But frustrating, and you're right. Something's got to change in baseball. Cordell Woodland joining us from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore. He's our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. All right, let's shift gears to football. Training camp's going on. The Ravens kicking it into full gear. Lamar Jackson getting used to Jesse Minter and all of that. How's that coming along? Because I know the Ravens are a team that's like there, but not quite, and have been sort of in that bubble for a little while here. Where are we at, Cordell, with the Ravens?
Yeah, I think it's still a work in progress right now when you talk about the offense. Declan Doyle coming over from Chicago. He's the new offensive coordinator, and they stripped it all the way down. See, the thing with the Ravens is defensively, they have a defensive scheme that's been built inside that building. They have a homegrown defensive system, and a lot of the defensive coaches that they bring in, they just build off of that. And Jesse Minter used to be, I believe, a linebackers coach. I think either linebackers coach or secondaries coach in the past here in Baltimore. So he's very well accustomed to the defensive scheme. And like guys like Mike McDonald, Jesse Minter has left Baltimore and went and added his own wrinkle to that system. So the defense isn't learning a completely new scheme. It may be new terminology, but overall it's still the same scheme with a couple of Jesse's own unique wrinkles. Offensively, they stripped it all the way down. They didn't keep anything from Todd Monken's offense, and that's a little bit of a change because when Todd Monken came in, they did keep some of the run fit, some of the run scheme from the previous offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. So going from Todd Monken to Declan Doyle, it is completely new, and I think you're seeing that on a day-to-day basis here in training camp. Some days the offense looks sharp, some days they don't. And yesterday was one of the days where they didn't look sharp at all. Lamar just kind of erratic with some of his throws, whether it's an overthrow or an underthrow. He just wasn't on the same page with some of his receivers. So I still think they're kind of in the install period right now where they're still working out the kinks. That's just one of their issues. But I do have questions about this Ravens offense, period. The offensive line wasn't great last year. I expect it to be somewhat better, but I don't know how much better. I still have questions about their pass catchers. there's nobody I trust outside of Zay Flowers, really. I mean, Mark Andrews is here, but Mark has been kind of a descending player the last couple of years. I think he's lacking some of the athleticism that he had early in his career. So and that behind him, they have 2 rookie tight ends. And behind Zay, you've got Rashad Bateman, who had 19 catches last year. That's tough to trust him. And then they also drafted 2 rookie wide receivers as well, on top of having Tez Walker here, who has, I think, 9 career catches. So it's not a lot of dependability when you talk about the pass catches that Lamar is going to be able to trust, especially under pressure.
Hey, speaking of Lamar, I think the NFL had him ranked 69th out of the top 100. Like, that's straight up disrespect, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Lamar is not the 69th best player in the league. That's just ridiculous. Now, that list does go off of the previous year. So I can somewhat understand it a little bit, because Lamar wasn't his usual Lamar self last year. He's dealing with a ton of injuries. He was basically hurt all year, lower body.
Right.
He had his lowest rushing year of his career. His offensive line was one of the worst in the league. So, yeah, I mean, offensively as a whole last year, the Ravens weren't great. So I can somewhat understand that, but still, Lamar, there aren't 68 players in the NFL better than Lamar Jackson. But thankfully for Ravens fans, Lamar doesn't care about those lists. He's been asked about it. Lamar's always been doubted throughout his career, despite being a 2-time MVP, one of them being unanimous, and a Heisman winner. Like, there's always people that are talking about what Lamar can't do or hasn't done. I think he's used to it by now, and he's still going to go out there and be himself.
Yeah, damn good football player, that's for sure. All right, overall expectations for the Ravens this season. I know there's been a lot of change in Baltimore, but what do you think going into this year, Cordell?
Yeah, I mean, I think their defense should be better. Their defense as well has not been great the last 2 years. Pretty mediocre at best. But now they bring in Jesse Minter, a defensive mind coming from the Chargers. He's going to be the defensive play caller. They also brought back Anthony Weaver to be the defensive coordinator as well. So I just think they're going to be so well coached defensively to add to the talent that they already have here. And then they added to their defensive line, bringing in Trey Hendrickson. That's a 15.5 sack guy that's gotten that number twice in back-to-back years. Now, it's been a couple of years, but I still expect Trey Hendrickson to be a double-digit sack guy. Nnamdi Madubuike has been showing up on the field. It looks like he's going to be back out there. They added Calais Campbell again. They drafted Zion Young. So, yeah, I think the defensive line is going to be stout. I think that the Ravens will have a top 10 defense this year. Offensively, I think during the regular season they'll be fine as long as Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Zay Flowers are healthy and playing well. But I do have questions about that offense when you talk about their weapons that they're surrounding Lamar with, especially going into the playoffs. I do think the Ravens should be a playoff team this year, even though they weren't last year. I'm looking at them to get somewhere between 11 and 12 wins this year.
Still a pretty good season. And if you get to the dance, who knows what can happen. That's the beauty of pro sports. Cordell, this was awesome, man. Thank you for the update on the O's and the Ravens. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
That's Cordell Woodland from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore. He's our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter, batting 1,000 against clogs. That's mrrooter.ca. I've got a sink in my ensuite that needs to be unclogged today. Speaking of Mr. Rooter.
You know who to call, Tom.
Mr. Rooter.
Tom, I said it right at the top of the show. I feel just as comfortable taking shots at you face to face as I do behind your back.
Oh, here you are. You have a poop eating grin on your face.
Is it because of that? This is kind of a backhanded compliment. Because of that luscious hair of yours that you are facing clogged drains? Because this is just speaking for myself. And it doesn't matter if it's my shower, my sink, the kitchen. I have never experienced a clogged drain in my life. Is this something you endure with frequently because of those luscious locks of yours?
Oh, yeah.
And I grew up with 3 sisters, one bathroom at the farm. And so I know how, like, the hair, when you got longer hair and, like, thicker hair and stuff, it's just, like, out all the time. It's everywhere, constantly. It's the first thing that comes to my mind when you tell me you have a clogged drain.
Well, maybe I'll find out, but I bought this place 3 years ago, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's a newer condo. It's had some issues, The holes in my ceiling, by the way, everything's been patched in the concrete slab. Seals have been redone. And then now I have drywall in the ceiling again. Now they're coming in today to do more. Just an update for those that care. Nobody cares. I know.
I care.
Thank you for putting up with it. We'll find out. I don't think so though, Brando. Because I have a his and her sink in my ensuite.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, it's really nice. But I have discovered that the previous owner, they left me with some to-dos. And I think this is a to-do caused by them. I think it was a lady that owned it. Maybe it was a couple. But yeah, I also installed a new shower head in my guest shower, which I'm very satisfied by that.
Good pressure?
Great pressure. Also fixed the pressure in that shower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like you've been very busy.
I do things. I do stuff.
I didn't know you were so handy, Tom.
Well, I am Italian. It's
Plumber?
It's in the blood.
Is that a bit? Mark?
Hey.
That's what I mean. Like, is Tom just saying he's Mario or?
No, I can fix stuff myself. Like,
wow, that's very man.
Give me some cement and I'll make something magical.
Okay.
Give me a hammer and some nails and some wood and we'll get something.
And you'll
out of it.
construct.
Yeah, exactly.
You should offer some tips to wannabe handyman Eddie Steele.
No. Well, I could help him slightly. Anyway, I feel like this issue was caused by the previous owner because there's been some things that I've fixed in my place. The building's 9 years old or maybe 10 years old now. I don't know. But there's been some stuff where I'm like, oh God, what were they doing? And I feel like this is one of those. But we'll see. Maybe there's some dirty blonde hair in there and maybe I'm the problem. I'll let you know. I'll update you tomorrow.
This is another. Yeah, I'll wait with bated breath.
Yeah, you will, because you're crazy like that, and that's why I respect the hell out of you. Enough about that. We gotta step out for a quick break. When we come back, Cam and Eggs. Did he send it in? No, Cam. Tater's taking a 5-day weekend. Oh, it's on the way. Awesome. Okay, we'll get to Cam and Eggs. More of your texts. Keep those coming in. This is the Gazzola Show. Brought to you by Bet365 right here on Sports 1440.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com. Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
It's the hard jobs that take know-how, expertise, and the right experience. And that's why, time and time again, GS Construction gets the call when it comes to the hard jobs. Underground projects that are genuinely difficult, like deep installs, tough ground conditions, or tight urban sites. So remember, when it's a hard job, the list gets short, and GS Construction is on it. Want to tackle the hard jobs? We're looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Hi, Edmonton. If the Subaru Outback is on your wish list, now's the time to act. With only limited inventory available, these award-winning SUVs won't be here for long. The Outback has earned an IIHS top safety pick or higher for 17 consecutive years, combining legendary Subaru capability, confidence in every season, and the versatility to take you almost anywhere. Reserve yours today before they're gone. Visit your local Subaru dealership today. Welcome to Uncommon.
Not sure where to turn? Remember 211, the number to contact for mental health, addiction, and community supports. It's free, confidential, and available 24/7. 211 Alberta. One number, countless connections.
A message from the Government of Alberta.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler insider and Jersey aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Eight 45. Good morning. Little Garth Brooks for you. Somebody put that banner up inside Rogers Place. Stupidest banner in North America. I said it, and I always will say it. I like how you faded that out ever so gently.
How can you disrespect Garth like that, Tom?
I'm not disrespecting.
8 sold out shows?
It was 9, actually.
9?
Because
Whatever
I
the
stare
number
at that
was.
stupid banner every game.
And I was at one of them.
Was it wonderful?
It was probably the best concert I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. Now, that is fantastic. We'll start with that. And the fact that he sold out 9 straight here is wonderful. But to give him a banner,
it's pretty crazy.
It's a bit of a stretch. I was still with Oilers TV at the time, and we were in Washington. And I remember we were having drinks with the brass, and that was when Wayne Gretzky was still with the team, and he traveled with the team. And we were in the lobby bar, and he goes, "You got to be kidding me." And all of us are like, "What?" And he goes, "They want me to fly back to Edmonton to present Garth Brooks a banner on stage."
Oh, my God.
And then I have to fly back to meet up with the team again. Everyone's like, "Oh, are you going?" He's like, "No." I think he shot a video. One of my camera guys had to shoot a video to congratulate
Right.
Garth Brooks. Now, listen, I know people love Garth Brooks. I actually have a lot of respect for him. He does a lot of good stuff. I respect the way he goes about his business. And him and, is it Trisha Yearwood? He's married to.
That's his wife.
It seems to be sincere, genuine, just a good time. So I have all the time in the world for that. So I'm not slighting Garth Brooks. It's just that banner is dumb. Buds Nation says it's just a banner, guys. It's not that serious.
Yeah, geez, Tom, don't let a piece of rubber or vinyl or whatever it's made out of get you so riled up.
I know it's silly to get worked up about, but I just think it's dumb. You know where it would and should be prominently displayed? In the corridor between the downtown community arena and the main building for Rogers Place. I think that would be the perfect space for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could get on board with that.
Yeah. And if that was where they put it, I'd be like, cool. I respect it. But you got the Oil Kings stuff there. You got the Oilers on the other sides. Then you got Garth. And it's just it just doesn't fit. It's like that Taylor Swift at crypto.com, you know? The Billy Joel ones in New York, and I think there's one in Philly. like we're talking about residencies that are, was it hundreds of shows?
Well, but over the course of their careers, I would have to think so.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not slighting Garth. It's just that banner. Like, why?
So if I'm following your line of thinking here, right, Tom, is that we need to bring Garth back and do more shows. So then the justification for the banner is further strengthened, right? Because you said like if Billy Joel's got one for 100 sold out shows at MSG or whatever it is, we need to get Garth. We need to pump those numbers up to make his banner worth it.
Did he go Chris Gaines on any of those shows, by the way?
Definitely not at the one I was at. I didn't hear any rumors. That would be a neat little twist. It's like 1 out of the 9 shows. Like you show up ready to hear all the classics, and then it's just Chris Gaines
with the 90s hair.
Yeah. The emo curtain bangs, eyeliner on.
Yes.
What a phase.
Interesting.
It wasn't a phase. It was a lifestyle.
Him and Chris Angel.
Yeah. Two peas in a pod.
Yeah. Riding motorcycles. Oh, boy. Cat Dad says, I think Philly has a Pearl Jam banner. Interesting. And not Seattle, huh? And then Montana to Rice says, go watch Garth announce he's going on Facebook. Creepiest video ever. I've heard something about this Facebook video.
I thought that sentence was stopping a couple words previously. He's like, I've heard something about this Facebook. It's like,
Video.
Tom,
Video.
Facebook should have been your heyday, no?
Yeah, I hate Facebook. So I don't
now.
go on there.
What about 18-year-old Tom?
Oh, I was on Facebook.
You were out. Were you poking people?
Yeah.
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 You'd poke.
I would poke. I'd be annoying. Okay, we got a couple of texts. I want to get to a couple of these in regard to baseball. See what you guys think. Doug sent this one in. Says, why do you think the MLB doesn't want to invest in the province of Quebec? Do you think just maybe there's a political overtone that is not conducive to entice MLB to set up shop again in Quebec, with many corporate businesses pulling out of Quebec with the constant threat of them leaving Canada, the bloc running the province the way they do? No major league would want to set up shop there. No brainer. Be careful here in Alberta. That's from Doug. I don't know. I mean, Montreal had there's some really rich people in the province of Quebec, and I feel like the money's probably there. It's just no stadium. Who's going to build it? There was haggling over a new stadium for the Expos when they were still a team. I know there's been rumored interest, and I think there's a bunch of stuff that's going against Quebec. Maybe they don't want to deal with all the strings that are attached to Quebec, Doug, but it just feels like they use Montreal as a red herring, unfortunately. Yeah, that's how I feel about that. Brando, before we get to Cam and Eggs, what would you say?
Yeah, I don't know. I think things like that, like external factors, always play a role, but is just the fact that it's Quebec. Does that alone have the Major League of Baseball, or, I don't think any other league has any serious interest in expanding to Canada. Like if we're talking NBA or even the NHL, back to Quebec City. Is what's deterring them, or are there just better options elsewhere?
I think the second one there.
I would agree. So I'm not saying that those factors don't matter and aren't taken into consideration, but I think it's more so they look and say, I think we'd be better served going to X, Y, or Z, which we threw around some of these names last week when the Vancouver news came across the wire,
Was
right?
Nashville one of them?
Nashville, I think, is the obvious number one. And then I think we were all in agreement for the most part that pick a spot in Carolina.
Yeah,
probably North Carolina.
Austin, Texas.
Austin is another big one too.
Yeah.
So I think those 3 cities would probably trump Montreal or Vancouver.
Yeah.
Very frankly. And then after that, you start exploring, some of the more periphery names.
Yep, that's totally fair. Logical, even. Okay, one last one on baseball. This text comes in from the Ulsterman. Says, back up the truck, fellas. This isn't a Dodgers ruining baseball thing. This is way more the fault of billionaire owners not spending the money they already have. The Dodgers rank number 1 in attendance and highest average ticket price. Why? Because the team spends the money they make. Not one person is saying the Mets are ruining baseball and they spent more money. Cap floor is needed before cap ceiling. And that's kind of what Cordell was talking about. And we neglected to say the Mets. They've been spending egregiously since Steve Cohen has taken over. More so than the Yankees, Brando. You made that point during the break as well. Okay, Cam and Eggs is ready to go. Cam sent me a text that was in all caps. and kind of made sense. You don't need to say anything. Just you're giggling. Just let's hear Cam and Eggs for today.
Before Saturday's game against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Elks general manager Ed Hervey sat down with the TSN panel and did a curious thing for a man in his line of work. He declined almost entirely to talk football. Not a word on players, not a word on trades, not a word on standings or the state of this league. A subject, mind you, on which grown men will happily burn an afternoon and still not arrive anywhere. No, Hervey wanted to talk about character, and a man does not arrive at that subject by accident. He arrives at it by having lived something. So let me tell you where this particular man has lived. He played 8 seasons as a register in this city's green and gold. He walked into the front office in 2007 with nothing promised him. He climbed, rung by rung, the old-fashioned way, which is to say, the hard way, until they made him general manager in 2013. 2 years on, he helped deliver this city the last Grey Cup it has tasted. And for this service, Edmonton did what organizations so often do to the architects of their own good fortune. It showed him the door the very next year. What followed, I need hardly detail for this audience. A decade of decline, the kind polite people do not raise at dinner. Losses banking up like snow against a fence line. And at the end of it, Hervey himself supplied the word for what that locker room had become. A word I couldn't improve on if I tried. He called it a stench. So here is the question worth sitting with. Why would any man walk back into the house that put him out on the step? I have come to believe it is because some places never quite relinquish their claim on a man, however cleanly he thinks he is left. Edmonton was unfinished business, and when the call came to return, Hervey did not come home for vindication. That would be the smaller story. He came home, it seems to me, to finish the sentence he started writing in 2013. So he went room to room, literally unscrewing nameplates from lockers. And before he ever asked a scout for a 40 time, he asked the people running this team's community programs one plain, unglamorous question. Who gives you a hard time? Those answers, not the statistics, told him who stayed and who went. Good people, good process, good results, Hervey said. I'm more into the family people. 6-2 now, atop the West Division. The upper bowl at Commonwealth open for the first time since 2023. And so the man this city once cast out is the very man who came back to put it together again. Not with a depth chart, but with a ledger, room by room, of who deserved to be in it. Make of that what you will. I know what I make of it. And then 5 words that Hervey summed up the character of the culture of the Elks by saying, you don't fit in, then split. Cam and Eggs. Sports 1440.
Good stuff there from Cam Tate. Very enlightening interview with Ed. Now, I only caught bits and pieces of it in my headset before I was getting yelled at pregame. So I read some of the comments, and I think 3 Down Nation had an article on it. I tried to find the video of it. I couldn't. Now I was looking for it at like 11:45 last night. But yeah, the gist of it, if you don't fit in, get out. And he went around asking people who gave them trouble around the organization and basically weeded out the bad eggs, if you will. And so far, so good. It's taken a year and a bit, but here we're watching a team back where it used to be. And his ousting the first time around. Now Ed has learned a lot in his time since he was the GM of the Eskimos. the first time around. And there seems to be a calmer demeanor after going through some interesting experiences and becoming older and wiser, and seems to have got or has found himself in a place where he just gets it and handles scenarios much better. That's just my perception. And yeah, he's got this team and organization humming along with Chris Morris and obviously Mark Killam and the Thompson family, putting those guys in place to lead the organization back to success and maybe glory. Nicely done, Cam. Very well done. And then one last thought here from Doug on the CFL. Doug says, I was at the game. Kate Burness is unbelievable how she interacts with the fans, but particularly the kids. Very, very good for the league. She is fantastic. It's great to work with her. The panel is awesome. Milt, Enoch, and Davis were here. Dusty in the booth. Stutes in the booth. The crew and the production team is fantastic as well. And yeah, Kate is truly awesome. So Doug, thank you. I want to read that one. Appreciate the text very much. All right. We have to get to a Sports 1440 update and then a quick breather. Belsey will be joining us in hour number 3, and he'll be co-hosting the rest of the show. This Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand, high-quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with the Z. Here's Brendo.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Breaking news out of the NFL this morning. Atlanta Falcons and star running back Bijan Robinson coming to terms on a 3-year deal worth up to $75 million. That will make him the highest paid running back in NFL history. The deal including $51 million guaranteed. In the majors yesterday, the Blue Jays opened their set in Houston with a 3-1 win. Shane Bieber going 5+ innings and Alejandro Kirk homering in the victory. Elsewhere, Yankees, they fall at the hands of the Cardinals 13-7. Rays with the Rockies 13-9. And the Dodgers get doubled up on by the Cubbies 10-5. It was also deadline day in the majors, and the Toronto Blue Jays selling off a number of pieces, including Dalton Varsho to Houston. Jeff Hoffman heads to Minnesota, and Kevin Gausman the day prior shipped down to the Windy City and joining the Cubs. They also do some buying as they bring in right-hander Jose Soriano from the LA Angels, and also added utility infielder Josh Smith from the Texas Rangers. Around the rest of the league, some big names on the move, including Adley Rutschman, former number 1 overall pick of Baltimore, heading to Boston. Luis Arias joining Philadelphia. Clay Holmes added to the Cubbies pitching staff. Luis Garcia Jr. on the Yankees. And, of course, earlier in the week, and Tarek Skubal, the big prize of the year, heading to the Los Angeles Dodgers. WCL action in Bellingham last night. Riverhawks' final series of the regular season opens with a 5-4 victory over the Bells as they continue to duke it out for a playoff spot. And Hlinka Gretzky Cup action underway from here in Edmonton. Canada taking their opener 7-3 over Switzerland. Coming up in hour 3 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Thomas Hall from Blue Jays Nation, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas, Center Sports 1440 Update.
This is Sports 1440,
A Stingray radio station.
broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Legendary is here with BetMGM Casino. Download now to check out over 4,000 casino games, including exclusive slots like Survivor and hundreds of live dealer games. Unlock Vegas magic and sign up for the BetMGM app. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18+, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
I missed one payment, then another. Now I feel behind on everything. I can't keep up.
Falling behind happens to more people than you think, but there is a solution. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Together, we can create a plan that fits your situation and helps you get caught up and back in control. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters. It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games, live dealer action, and new adventures waiting to be discovered. Jackpot City, nothing beats the original. Please play responsibly, 18 years or older, Alberta only.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
Election Day is October 19th. Are you referendum ready? Start by making sure you're registered to vote and your information is up to date, especially if you've recently moved or changed your name. Then, check if you have the identification you'll need to vote. The easiest option is a government-issued photo ID showing your full name and current residential address. But there are more than 50 ways to prove your identity. Find everything you need to be referendum ready at elections.ab.ca/voters. A message from Elections Alberta.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Hour number 3, it is the Tom Gazzola Show here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Bet365. Check out Bet365's early payout for baseball. When your team goes up by 5 runs, you get paid out immediately. No stress about blowing a big lead. Download the app, see what early payout is all about. Tom, John Bell, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you as we roll along. Of course, text us 1-833-401-1440. We're having some chuckles here. Good times. Bellsy, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thanks. It's good to be back in the saddle.
It is nice to have you back.
Thank you.
How was your week off?
As you know, and chirp me, I was working at Gretzky's game hockey school.
Okay.
Helping Keith out with, we had 74 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You were at Silent Ice Center and you saw me trying to do my best
at
herding cats.
Okay.
Helping kids not cry. Some of them did.
Debatable.
Tying skates. Pushing pucks.
I didn't see you on the ice.
Oh, I was great.
I definitely saw you. What game were you playing? Hot dog tag?
That was Josh Bennett, who's the Bakersfield Condors AT.
Yep.
That was his idea. It was like a quasi handball dodgeball.
I didn't see a ball.
What are you talking about?
When you were in the parking lot, when I drove by and you came
they were
over,
doing-
where you
they
let
were
the kids
doing-
play in the parking lot, and then you came over and tried to talk to me.
No,
There was
I
no
didn't
ball.
try to talk
No,
to you.
there was no ball. So I don't know if you can say it was dodgeball.
Oh, we were playing. That
Oh, there
was
you
Sharks and Minnows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. Because
Oh, tell me why.
there was some scraped knees
Was there?
on the asphalt.
Yeah.
It wasn't good, but that's going to happen on grass too.
Yeah, but it's a lot softer of a landing on grass.
You know what? The kids
Unfortunately,
went
there's no
110%.
grass in that area.
No,
so-
there isn't.
Unless you
I'm
go to the
telling you.
farmer's field.
Well, aren't they doing construction?
Yeah,
there's development there. Sharks and Minnows was very popular. The kids asked to play it again 2 straight days. And
Did
we're
you
like,
guys play Asteroids?
No. What's Asteroids?
That might be the greatest game ever.
Tell me about it.
So it's almost like, well, the kids line up on one end of the ice, and then they've got to skate to the other end. But between blue line to blue line, all the instructors have tennis balls.
Yes, we played Asteroids.
And they just that's kind of like your healing moment.
Oh, I
as an
smoked so many
instructor.
kids in the head with tennis balls.
We used to play that, and you just rip tennis balls at these kids.
It's funny because I hit 2 or 3 of them in the right in the cage.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt,
It doesn't
obviously,
hurt, and they giggle, and
but they
laugh,
look at
and-
you
yeah.
and they're like, hey. And you're like, now you know how it feels.
You're like, I got you.
That's right.
That's for the rest of this week.
Yes.
Oh, good stuff.
Brian from Sask says, I love Asteroids. Yes, I didn't know it was called Asteroids, but that's a fun game.
Hands down the best game as an instructor.
It truly is tremendous. Brett from Stony says, in Calahoo, we used pucks.
Oh, yeah, that's criminal. So you would have to shoot that at the blades, but I feel like that would hurt. No?
Well, yeah, because you can hit, and some of them aren't that strong on their skates.
Yeah.
My group, Keith had me taking care of the 6 to 9-year-olds, and then Mitchie Holmberg Mitch was on the ice the entire time. Josh Bennett from the Condors had the 10 to 15-year-olds, I think. So we had some young kids that were just learning how to skate.
Yeah, and then if you're going to shoot a puck at them, that would be that's awful.
Yeah,
No, you can't play Asteroids with pucks.
No,
it's got to be tennis balls.
And usually you don't want to aim at the kids that are just learning the game and how to skate and all that. You want to hit the ones that are the showboats.
Yeah, or the ones that give you attitude.
Or the ones that give you. That's truly refreshing.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
That's
anyway, Keith was very happy with how the camp went. And thank you to Silent Ice Center. You were great. Liz, Scott, Yenny, Bob, fantastic crew out there.
Yeah, I saw Keith the one time he came up. He was whistling, and I think he was chirping both of us.
That's what he does.
That's what he does. Good for him.
That's when you know he likes you.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Ciaccio was the other on-ice instructor. He is the skills coach for the New York Rangers. Used to be with the Coyotes. And I can't remember if he was with the team prior to that. But Chach is awesome. He's a little New York guy. He's got that New York accent.
Oh, yeah. It's a camp filled with small people.
It was.
Small hands. Small like cabbage. Nomads, really?
That's the second Austin Powers
I know,
reference
right?
we've had today. Brando had one earlier.
That one cracks me up. Small hands. Smells like cabbage.
Nomads, really? Connies.
Oh, man.
Anyway, you're at the football game on Saturday.
Yep.
What did you take away from that game?
That I didn't watch enough because I had 20 people with me.
Oh, boy.
And it was turning into a real party on the party deck.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. It was a good crowd. Crowd was into it. The delay sucked. I thought the delay actually took a lot of life out of the crowd.
Yeah, but I'm glad people stuck around.
Yeah, they stuck around. That was the nice part. Like everybody was kind of just in the concourse. It was like they knew what to do.
Yep.
Obviously from the week before.
Oh my God. That was crazy at Post Malone.
Yeah, it was. But no, it was a great crowd. It was great to see the turnout. Obviously if the Elks would have won, that would have been better.
Yes.
But to get the split with Sask is a big thing. Kind of, those are going to be the 2 top teams in the Western Division. So to me, it was great. And now they've just got to kind of continue, get back into that winning column and then continue the momentum that they've had and then keep those fans coming because that place is a different place when it's full.
The vibe was great.
I think the players could feel it too.
Definitely.
So
I almost started a war pregame.
Yeah, you did.
I don't want to take responsibility for that, but
well, we don't need to rehash it, but it is
I went
good
over
that
it.
you almost started that.
No, I don't want to deal with that again.
Well, because now there's like a legit, like it's pushing a rivalry. It's the two best teams. Now there's animosity.
Well, you saw it on the
games
field.
are way better.
You saw it on how many times? How many times did we see like little skirmishes and extra shots on the sidelines and stuff like that?
It's great.
When guys are out of bounds, they're still getting hit. The ejection. Who was it that got ejected? Noah Taylor. That's right. For embellishment, that was to me a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
And
And
I don't know if I've ever seen.
I don't know if I've ever seen that either. But you know that there's always embellishment. The guys are always doing something to try to draw the flag.
Yeah, but
And so
to get kicked out.
to get
for it.
kicked out for it is a very weird thing to me.
He had contact with an official was his first infraction. I didn't see my monitor. We had a bunch of technical glitches that we overcame as a unit, as a team, but my monitor was way off in a different spot. So I wasn't going to run to it I was going to miss the replay. I didn't have time to get to it.
Mhm.
So I didn't see the contact of the official. Did you guys see it, Brando or Fenny?
No, I did not see the contact with the official. And to be honest, up in the booth without because we have the game on, like the broadcast on the monitors inside the press box, but with no sound on. So we were actually pretty confused. We didn't really know what was going on with Taylor. And then obviously finding out as the quarter progresses, essentially that, it was for embellishment. And the replay, like it's you can kind of see where they're coming from. Obviously, I have, much like you guys, never seen that actually happen in a football game where someone gets kicked out for that. I don't hate it. You hate it for the Elks because they get them. They're a man down now the rest of the game, and a guy that plays across a few different units to boot. So that obviously has an impact. But how much do we complain when we're watching football, particularly I think the NFL, and quarterbacks at the first look of contact, flare out, blow themselves up even, in all in efforts of getting a call, which it's gamesmanship. It's part of the sport. I don't care for it very much. And as a result, you have to hold every player to the same standard. I think, whether it be quarterbacks, defensive linemen, special teams, it doesn't matter. So if you're going to play the game without, a little bit of integrity on that front, then you should be punished for it. And a pretty steep punishment in this case of making your way to the locker room for the rest of the night.
A heavy hand.
Like, what would be a better, I guess, penalty for that? 10 yards?
Well, I mean,
15 yards?
It'd be a 15-yarder.
15-yard?
Yeah, it'd be a 15-yarder.
Like an ejection is pretty substantial.
But he had the one major foul, which was the contact. With
Yes,
the
I get that
I didn't
part.
see it again.
But those are two separate plays. Were they not?
Yeah, well, they're minutes apart, I think.
So like, is it then the officials are on high alert because of the fact that he's got a major foul already to an official, and then now he's embellishing.
And so if that
and it's
qualifies as a major foul, 2 major fouls turn to an ejection. Is that the actual rule?
It's like 2 yellow cards in soccer,
right?
I guess
that might be worth digging into a little bit more. But
that would be the only thing that makes sense, because it is 2 separate plays.
Well, it was. I think it was in 2 different quarters.
Well,
if I
there you
recall
go.
correctly, yeah. Anyway, I was surprised by it. Brian via YouTube says, "Morning, what a fun time Saturday was outside of the delay. The tailgate was busy and fun. We had more people in our stalls than we ever have, and the game was fun. Steps in the right direction." We're seeing a lot of that sentiment, which I'm very encouraged by. Nails texting in says, "What was the announced attendance?" I have that for you. 31,757.
Yeah, that looked great.
It did.
Yeah.
And did you notice coming out of the lightning delay / halftime, how some people just went up to the second deck anyway?
Oh, yeah.
To watch the game?
Yep.
I thought that was great.
I felt like people, so it was like on and off rain.
Yep.
And I felt that after the very quick delay, people were back in their seats immediately because they were like, you know what? This is not a crazy weather system. We're going to go sit there. We're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Even though there was that long delay. What it turned into be like, what, half an hour?
It was an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, well, there you go. That's good. You can tell where I was at.
We were scrambling to get stuff on. Well, you were having a time.
I was having a time.
As were many others.
Yeah.
We were scrambling to fill the airtime. And I think we managed to do that okay. So I was running around like crazy. But I did happen to notice, though, that even though there was shelter in place, a lot of people on the north side were under CW's pub getting refreshments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because people learned from the last time.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, it was
Rain
a
or
great
shine.
time. It was a great time.
Got to have a time.
The winning is catapulting this team back into a level that they were at before, obviously, for many years. And the desire to go to those games and have a good time is still there, which is tremendous. And I hope it keeps going on and it's on the up and up. Tough test for the Elks on Saturday in Montreal, but hey, they beat Montreal once. They're the only team that's beaten Montreal so far this season. We'll have more discussion on football, but we are going to talk Jays right away here. And Belzy's going to be along for the ride because we are going to be joined by Thomas Hall from Blue Jays Nation. If you have any Jays questions or reaction to the deadline, fire those our way, 1-833-401-1440. This is the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365 on Sports 1440.
Beer League Slow Pitch. It's an Alberta summer tradition.
I got shortstop. I'll take pitcher. Yeah, I'm just here for the dugout snacks.
When you're playing on the field, you need serious fuel. And there's only one MVP. Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky and hit a home run with the team. It's the perfect snack for your summer sports.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
Founded by a former pro motorsports competitor, Evolve Wheels and Tires brings decades of experience in custom wheels, lowering kits, lift kits, and accessories. Visit Evolve Wheels and Tires in West Edmonton, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Legendary is here with BetMGM Sportsbook. Sign up now to unlock access to hundreds of pre-match and live betting options for all your favorite sports. Download the BetMGM app. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
9:23 on a Tuesday. Good morning. It's the Tom Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. Tom, alongside Sean Bell, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick. Text us, 1-833-401-1440. We're going to talk a little baseball. The Blue Jays specifically with Thomas Hall from Blue Jays Nation. Lots of news yesterday. Most of it expected, but unfortunately, the Jays had to sell off some parts. And let's bring in Thomas to discuss from Blue Jays Nation. Thomas, good morning. Hope you're doing well, man. After what was a crazy trade deadline, the Jays have moved on from a bunch of, I guess, pillars on the team, especially Kevin Gausman. Overall thoughts to begin this segment on the Jays deadline day.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. Was definitely an interesting day for the Blue Jays. They pulled off one of the rare buy and sell hybrids between selling off some of the pending free agents, like you said, Kevin Gausman, Dalton Varsho, Jeff Hoffman among them, but also making a really big splash and bringing in Jose Soriano, the best controllable starting pitcher, who was ultimately moved at the deadline, and also picked up a utility infielder in Josh Smith, and added some, I guess, depth to the minor league system, both at the lower levels, but also at the AAA level, particularly on the starting pitching side, and certainly an area where the Blue Jays have lacked depth the last few seasons. So I think overall, just given the market that the Blue Jays were dealing with and the assets that they had that weren't necessarily performing at a peak level, I think when you look at these returns, like it's hard to complain about, too much, I guess, about the returns that they got. I think overall, like the roster where it stands right now, like maybe you could make an argument that the Blue Jays actually took a step or two forward, mostly because of the Jose Soriano addition and him swapping places essentially with Gausman and upgrading not only the rotation for this season, but in 2027 and 2028. So, I think overall the Blue Jays did a good job here, given what they were dealt with. And, but at the same time, like it's always bittersweet when you're having to say goodbye to so many beloved faces on a team that came within 2 outs of winning the World Series last fall.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, we saw the Varsho interview and he kind of got choked up, and we know how much Gausman appreciated his time in Toronto and how much the crowd and fans of the Blue Jays appreciated Gausman. Is it just the tough part being the sentimental value with losing a couple of guys like that? And listen, with Hoffman, I know he frustrates the hell out of Jays fans, so I'll leave him out of this one.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like that's definitely the worst part about it. The business side of sports is definitely the uglier side for fans. And, when the team underperforms, like the Blue Jays have had this year, and, Gausman and Varsho especially haven't had their, best of seasons this year. It's certainly on the players for having to be in this spot, and the Blue Jays selling off their pending free agents. But, it doesn't make it any easier, whether it's from a management standpoint, a player standpoint, or a fan standpoint. It's always a big disappointment when, you're at this position where you're having to make these tough calls and having to put business over the player necessarily.
Right.
The starting rotation, obviously, from what it seems on paper, looks like it's going to be better in 2027, which is obviously a great thing to have.
If there's 2027.
If there's 2027.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest problems that the Jays have had is that their bats aren't great. I think they're one of the worst offenses in the league right now. And when you give up your second best prospect, and yes, you obviously got a decent return for him, but you still haven't been able to address the offensive side of the game. What are they going to do in a class on the free agency side that isn't necessarily that great?
Yeah. So that was one of the bigger things coming out of the deadline is, they improved the pitching staff, both from a ceiling standpoint and a depth. But you're right. The offense where it is right now, it's the same pretty much as it was pre-deadline. And so, unfortunately, a lot of it moving forward, it's going to revolve around, can Vladimir Guerrero Jr. recapture, the type of hitter he was in previous seasons outside of this one? And, if we look at the track record, history would tell us that, he should be better in 2027, and that naturally will improve the Blue Jays offense just through him alone. And I think through having Alejandro Kirk hopefully healthy for an entire season in 27, that should make this team better. Addison Barger as well, not having him for pretty much all season, getting him back hopefully at 100%. Again, like depending on whatever happens with 2027 CBA dependent, those three guys are the core of this lineup. And you can add Kazuma Okamoto to that group as well, given the sensational rookie season that he's having. But I think when you look at the offseason for this team, I think outside of adding a fifth starter, you're really looking at ways that you can further add to this core of the offense. And through free agency, that's going to be pretty difficult. So I think, getting Soriano checks a massive box for the Blue Jays, and it's something that they no longer have to add to their offseason to-do list, which is great because then, you can look at other areas of the roster and it'll probably come via trade. And, of course, trading Namala weakens the Blue Jays assets that they can move in those types of trades. But, the cupboards aren't empty either. They have a lot more prospects that have very high trade value that they could move potentially to further add to this lineup. But, it'd be interesting too to see what they do with center field moving forward here because, that was one of the bigger questions hanging over this roster all year long was, and especially it became even larger with this season that Dalton Varsho had been having is, what do they do in center field long term? Because Miles Straw, who's now going to get the bulk of playing opportunities here moving forward in center with Varsho now traded, he has a club option for 2027 that may or may not be picked up. It's going to be a matter of roughly $6 million as to whether or not the Blue Jays want to exercise that option and keep him around as depth moving forward here. But at the same time, Miles Straw is not somebody you necessarily want as your everyday center fielder if you're on a window where you're trying to get back to the World Series here. So I think that is going to be close to the top of the Blue Jays priority list in terms of addressing this winter. And it's hard to imagine that they go out in free agency and do that. Like I said, just given the lack of options that they have out there, unless they want to try and bring back Varsho on a reunion, which probably there's a low chance of that happening, but you never know. So I think you have a decent foundation here to build off of between Vladdy, Kirk, Barger, and Okamoto. Any of Anthony Santander potentially coming back too, if he can stay healthy and maybe lengthen this lineup out, especially in the power department. But I think a lot of what we'll be looking at with this lineup in the offseason is how do you add another piece to this core?
Thomas Hall joining us from Blue Jays Nation as we discuss the fallout from deadline day. Ross Atkins saying he thinks the team is better. And Thomas, you're kind of pointing out that, hey, they did pretty good, all things considered. Here's a discussion Belzy and I had last night at dinner. And we were talking about the Jays' struggles offensively. And this is just, I want to bounce it off of you. It could be ridiculous. It might have some validity. But Belzy said, was Bo Bichette an enabler to the offense and to Vladdy Guerrero and like that safety blanket or the safety net for Vladdy? And when Belzy, you brought that up, I'm like, I don't know, maybe it was a comfort there. What do you think about that, Thomas?
No, there's definitely some truth to that, I would say. anytime you subtract a franchise pillar like Bo Bichette and the caliber of hitter that he is, you're instantly going to become a weaker team. Like, as good as Okamoto has been for the Blue Jays, like, it's so hard for a guy like him, especially coming over to a country he's never played professionally before, playing in cities where he's never played, facing pitchers he's never faced before. Like, it's so difficult to walk into the room and have that same sort of presence that Bo Bichette had. And I think, especially too, given the close relationship him and Vladdy still have to this day, it's obviously going to feel different for Vlad. And I think that probably has contributed to, I guess, just probably the mental aspect of Vladdy's struggles here, and putting too much on his shoulders to have to carry the freight for this offense. I think especially with George Springer going through the broken toe and his offensive struggles earlier in the year, not having Kirk, not having Barger, not having Santander, not having Bo Bichette there too. Like, everyone is looking to Vladdy to be the guy who carries this team. And even still right now, like, the same sort of things are still happening with Vladdy, where he feels like he needs to be the guy that brings them on this hot streak that puts them right back into the wild card race. And all of that is true, right? Like, if this offense is going to get going, like, it has to run through him. But at the same time, like, it's so difficult to allow that noise to creep in on top of the mechanical struggles that Vladdy is still working through too. That hasn't helped his case in any means. But, it was true even entering this season. Like, it was so evident that the Blue Jays were going to have to find ways to score runs differently without Bo Bichette. And, unfortunately, between the injuries, between the underperformances, even with the addition of Okamoto, who's been fantastic, it just hasn't clicked for the Blue Jays. And, whether or not it's fair or not, it is all riding on Vladdy's shoulders. And one way or another, if this team is going to get hot and make a late run here, it's going to be on him to help them do it.
Thomas, league-wide winners, losers of deadline day, in your opinion?
So I think definitely when you look at the NL West, thankfully they're still playing that division. Yeah, the team that got Tarek Skubal, who won't be mentioned here because I don't want to add salt in the wound here, but Tarek Skubal to a rotation that already features Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani when he's healthy, along with Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, and now Chris Bubic as well. If he can get healthy, like, that's a superstar rotation on top of the offense that team bolsters too. But we also saw AJ Preller with San Diego Padres make some pretty nice moves to fortify the rotation with his team, getting Robbie Ray, former Blue Jay, and Casey Mize from the Tigers as well amid Detroit's sell-off. So I think the West definitely got stronger. I think when you look at the American League, certainly the Boston Red Sox made a flashy, albeit risky move to get Adley Rutschman, and giving up the package that they did to bring in a guy who only has one more year of club control remaining beyond this one. The fact that they gave up 3 top 5 prospects along with 2 other assets for a guy who is also currently injured, that certainly made a lot of waves in the industry, most of which weren't all that positive. But I think the Tampa Bay Rays are definitely a team too that I would say that got better and improved. But it's hard to say, because we're only one day removed from the trade deadline. Like, a lot of this is recency biased, and we really won't know who the real winners are until October, because at the end of the day, like, all the moves that have been made leading up to yesterday's trade deadline are the ones that are the ones that these playoff contenders are hoping that pushes them over that edge and gets them to the World Series. But I think anyone who gets Tarek Skubal probably is going to have a hard time being beaten as the clear winner of the trade deadline. So I guess we'll see what happens in late October, early November, but it might be hard to say anyone other than the Dodgers were the real winners of this deadline.
Oh man.
Of course. And whether or not that, has any major implications on what happens this winter with the CBA negotiations too, that, is one of the bigger takeaways as well, I guess.
Can't wait to talk about the CBA negotiations with you, Thomas. It's going to be oodles of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean,
nope.
Yeah,
but guess what? We will. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll have to talk about something, right? Because free agency and all the other action in the usual off season, the usual busy part of the off season for baseball will be relatively quiet, I'm sure. So we'll have to talk about something, but most of which will not be all that much fun.
Well, we'll save it till when we get there. Okay. This was great, Thomas. Always a pleasure. Thanks for hopping on today, and talk soon. Okay.
Of course, guys. Always great catching up with you.
There's Thomas Hall from Blue Jays Nation. Yeah. This 2027 thing it's already a Debbie Downer.
The Dodgers.
Dodgers, man. They're so good.
They're so good.
It's not fair.
It isn't fair. But do you still who do you view as the true big bad of the MLB world?
The true big bad?
The big bad.
Big bad.
In my mind, and maybe it's just because of all the years of beating down the Jays, I still think the Yankees are still the evil empire to me.
I don't know. Brandon and I were talking about this a little bit. The Yankees don't seem the same.
They don't, but for whatever reason in my head,
everyone still hates them.
Yeah, they're still the evil empire.
But I do think that the Dodgers have now.
Do you think they've taken that crown
as to use that moniker that the Yankees obviously earned back in the 90s and 2000s, where they just bought every player that was available? Yeah, I think the Dodgers are the new evil empire because it's a combination, right? We know the Mets are spending just as much, even more money,
but they've been
so
the Dodgers. Crappy.
But the problem is they suck. They can't figure it out. It's just like the goddamn Mets. It's just like the Jets across town, essentially.
Yes.
Yep.
Winning and success naturally breeds resentment. And we've seen that. We saw it with the Patriots. We've seen it with the Chiefs already kind of go through that cycle. And then now we'll see if they can bounce back. And now we're seeing it with the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers were a little bit of a laughingstock because despite all the money they sent, 100-win regular seasons, they're losing in the wild card round or the divisional round to the Diamondbacks. And it's
you watch your mouth.
And it's man, the Dodgers it just shows you can't buy a championship. Well, it kind of shows that maybe you can now because back-to-back World Series champions. And all signs pointing is, hey, you play the games for a reason. Jays came as close as you can to knocking them off last year, but they are very much looking like they're going to be a hard champion to unseat for the three-peat this year.
Has the stank come off of the Astros? Because remember...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has.
We're past that
now. The only
Yeah.
ones, I think the fan base that probably still holds that the most are Yankees fans. And that might be it because they beat the Dodgers, didn't they?
I believe so. Yes.
Right. And so the Dodgers have gotten they've come around, and obviously, back to back winning cures a lot of hurt memories and hurt feelings. But the Yankees, who had lost them in the playoffs earlier, if my memory is serving me correct off the top of my head, I think they still hold that grudge pretty severely because the Yankees haven't won since, what are we talking?
2008.
Thought it was a little bit later than that. But either way,
I think it was 08 when the first year of the new Yankees.
It's been a while for a team that constantly is considered the contender or one of the contenders inside the American.
The Yankee fans they hate everybody. So
everybody's mean to them and they're just jealous and on and on and boo-hoo. We're the Yankees fans.
Try being a D-backs fan.
Because nobody
cares about
nobody
you.
is a D-backs fan.
It's verbal meme. Don Draper in the elevator. I don't think about you at all.
It's just
it's a great existence.
just your background character. You're an NPC.
We're a non-playable.
Nobody
character.
can hate you, but nobody loves you either.
Just there he is.
Yeah.
Even inside your own division, you're not even a little brother. You're little step nephew or
Yeah.
something. I don't know, because
kind of
you
their
got
part of the group.
Padres, Dodgers, Giants, like 3 teams that have been and currently are atop the MLB's power rankings, and the D-backs just float around despite that World Series appearance.
I still don't understand how you became a D-backs fan.
I told you, we had a
It's all
family
about the
home down
show.
there. Yeah.
It's
And
all
it's about MLB the
It's
show.
all about MLB the show.
Yeah. By the way, Tommy Gazzola in the 2029 MLB season is the leading candidate for NL MVP.
Are you just a 99 across the board?
Not yet. No. KR with this text as we wrap up the segment says Yankees at least paid their players. What the Dodgers are doing with deferred salary and luxury tax circumvention is complete BS. That one from KR. Good text. Thank you for that.
Fair.
KR, appreciate it. BC Oilers says 09, they beat the Phillies. So that was the last Yankees win. My apologies. Thank you, BC Oiler, for correcting me. All right, more with Belzy, Fenny, and Brando right after this. We're stepping out. It's the Gazzola Show. Brought to you by Bet365.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, "Thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the pro press fitting to my copper pipe."
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
No fluff, no fillers, just pure entertainment. Sports 1440 brings the heat with bold opinions, big personalities, and Edmonton's fiercest fans. This is your turf. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at what'syourshare.ca.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Ooh, yeah. A little Queen for you. It's the Tom Gazzola Show on Sports 1440. Good morning. Sean Bell Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you. If you're watching us on YouTube, hello, hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate it. If you're listening on iHeart and TuneIn, thank you. If you're listening on a podcast version of this show later on in the day, we appreciate that. And to all of those OGs on the AM dial, what up? You like how I did that, Belsey?
I do.
Thanks.
Very nice. Very nice touch.
Lovely. 1-833-401-1440 is the number to text in. We have some text to get to. This will be a quick segment, hey? Before we get into the fourth hour of the show.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Let's do it. KR texting. We were talking about baseball and like which team Belsey brought up was the evil empire of the MLB right now. And KR says the Yankees. Oh, no, I had that one. It was the Yankees at least paid their players. I read it last. TKO is the one I want to get to. TKO texting says the Dodgers are not the evil empire because no one on their team is really unlikable.
And that's why I asked that question, because I still like, even though I know that the fact that they may or may not be circumventing the cap, they buy players like crazy. Their pitching rotation is all-stars everywhere.
Everybody's an all-star on that team.
Everybody is. They have, I think it's eight of 9 players in their lineup are making, what is it, 9-figure contracts?
I'm not even surprised if that's the case.
Which is craziness. I still don't have the same feelings I have about the Dodgers that I do about the Yankees.
But that's
like I
because
can't
we're from
stand,
a certain era.
and I think that's why, though. That's why I asked the question. Like, do we still view, are we viewing the Dodgers as the big bad, or is it still the Yankees? Because I think a lot of people that would be in our vintage probably feel the same way, despite the fact that the Dodgers are, they're changing the way things are done in baseball. Was it they're $2 billion in luxury tax?
What? Is it that much?
Something like that.
Because what's the cap before the luxury tax kicks in baseball?
Or I guess it'd be 1.1 million or 1.1 billion in luxury tax, because I think their actual roster is touching the billions as well.
Okay.
So their current payroll, $430 million, resulting in an estimated record high luxury tax bill of $180 million.
Because the threshold is $244 million.
Yeah.
Which is a ton of money.
Like they're close to doubling that.
It's insane.
But they can, because they generate.
Well, this kind of goes back to the conversations we've had over the past couple of weeks, Tom, all originating with the sale of the Seahawks at a deal that's, what was it, right? Like close to $10 billion. Like at what point can you not make that money back anymore? And it's changed a little bit because of so much private investment, private equity firms, where it's not just one person footing a whole bill for these things, right? But like what we believe to understand is that owning a sports team in essentially any facet, with very few exceptions, you make money. And then some of these owners, like in Pittsburgh and in Chicago, and some of these like decently sized markets, but the owners just cry poor.
Yeah.
And it's all just business maneuverings about how they record losses for these sports teams, but it's really not the case.
No.
I found the tweet that I was referencing, and it's the Dodgers are committed to over $2 billion right now.
In salary.
In salary.
Okay.
And 1.1 billion is actually deferred money because of the way that they've set up their contracts.
Now, okay. They've found the right way to massage the CBA.
Yep.
Massage is a nice way of putting it.
Very nice way of putting it.
Circumventing, if you want to be straight up about it.
Yep. Because Ohtani is making $700 million over 10 years.
Right. And how much of
Mookie
that is
Betts,
deferred?
well, a lot of that's deferred.
Right.
Mookie Betts is $365 million over 12 years.
Damn.
Yamamoto is $325 million over 12 years. And that's just the first three off the top of the list.
What's Freddie Freeman getting?
I don't have it on here.
But he's a bit older.
But he's in that same category as well.
The numbers money-wise in baseball, I know they're getting ridiculous in football, but those are not guaranteed contracts, pardon me, in the NFL. But in baseball, like, it is absurd. You just listed 3 absurd contracts.
Yeah, it's insane.
Sorry, Josh said Freeman's at $22 million. this year.
Just a cozy 2023, 22.
Do you guys remember a few, like 10 years ago, maybe they had the lineup for the Yankees and they went through like what everybody was making per season. And then there was one guy that was like 800,000, but everybody else was like, yeah, and everybody else was like 10, 14 million. I wonder what it'd be like for the Dodgers.
I'm sure we can look it up.
Here right now, Ohtani's average is 70 million.
That's it.
Mookie Betts is 30. Yamamoto 27. Tucker 60. Snell 36. Freeman 27. Will Smith is at 14. Yeah, it's
profound.
And imagine being like, I don't know. Well, let's see. Enrique Hernandez is making $4.5 million.
That's all.
And you're one of the lowest paid players on the team.
Kike Hernandez. Well, he's been around forever.
Yeah. The lowest player on this team actually is Eliezer Alfonso, making 780.
That's a rookie contract.
I'm assuming he's probably a backup catcher
or a call up.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, you know what? And basketball salaries are absurd. There's only 13 men on the roster.
Yeah,
and I think we were looking at it last hockey season and basketball season, quite frankly. Like Connor McDavid at 12.5 before the Kaprizov deal.
He was like a mid-level exemption.
He was like 100th. He was like top. He wasn't even in the top 100 salaries in basketball.
Yeah. So the guy that would be 7 or 8 coming off the bench was making the same amount as Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Isn't it? Yeah. It tells you too, like the discrepancy, and TV money is obviously huge. Anyway, baseball and the NFL, MLB, NFL are a license to print money. And I think NBA is getting there. The National Hockey League is behind numbers wise, but they're talking about record profits the last 3 years. It's doing very well. It's quite healthy. So yeah, these numbers are insane. And we're about to go into labor strife in baseball.
I find it interesting though in hockey when you think about where the money is going now, and people are always like, well, is that guy going to take less? Right? It's almost become to a spot like where it's weird for us to say that player should go make the money that he deserves to make versus like making a little bit less to help the rest of the team. But in all the other sports, it's like, he's getting the money he deserves.
Yeah, the bar's just getting pushed up every time. And yeah, you're right. There's like a reluctance in hockey.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Celebrini contract?
I thought it was good.
Yeah. Good
because he is a superstar. He's a budding superstar.
Right. He has arrived.
He is arrived.
Now, what does Connor McDavid get his next contract?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Are we ready for that?
It's a good question because every part of me wants to say he's going for 20. But I still think that there's a bit of a, once again, reluctance to go get that so he can help the team. And he's the guy that, he cares about winning and he wants to win. So if he's staying in Edmonton, you almost have to think he's going to take less. But at the same time, if you're trying to push up all, the cap and where the money's going for players, then it's almost important for him to take 20 because he'll help the rest of the players moving forward.
Now, we talked about that going into his last extension, and it seems like with how he handled it, he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel that burden.
Which is good for the Oilers if they're able to retain him.
Right. It's interesting.
It's a very interesting conversation.
Interesting. All right. We got to dip out for a quick sports update and a breather. When we come back in hour number 4, we'll go in and out with Brando. Here he is with the Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. Here's Brandon.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Some more breaking news out of the NFL this morning with training camps continuing. Baltimore Ravens extending wide receiver Zay Flowers on a multi-year deal. And in case you'd missed it earlier on this morning, Bijan Robinson and the Atlanta Falcons 3-year extension worth up to $75 million. That will make him the highest paid running back in NFL history. In the majors today, full slate of games, including the Blue Jays continuing their set in Houston against the Astros. Trey Savage taking the bump for Toronto. First pitch coming 6:10 Mountain Time. You catch that right here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, Orioles hosting the Angels. Cardinals continue their set in the Bronx against the Yankees. Red Sox take on the White Sox from Fenway Park. And the Dodgers continuing in the Win City against the Cubs from Wrigley. WCL action tonight. Riverhawks game 2 of 3 to wrap up the regular season against the Bells from Bellingham. First pitch coming 7:35 Mountain. And Helenka Gretzky Cup action continuing today. Canada taking on Slovakia at 5 o'clock. Some other games, Germany and Czechia at 1. Sweden against the Swiss at 3. And Finland taking on the United States in the nightcap, 7 o'clock puck drop. Coming up in hour 4 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Need an excuse to upgrade your ride? Well, we got a few to share. Go Auto has over 18,000 new and used vehicles ready to test drive right now. With more than 70 locations, your perfect match could be closer than you think. A family-friendly SUV for soccer practice, a fuel-sipping commuter, or a hardworking truck that's ready for anything. Trusted brands and a team that's actually happy to help. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
No fluff, no fillers, just pure entertainment. Sports 1440 brings the heat with bold opinions, big personalities, and Edmonton's fiercest fans. This is your turf. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Think a quality golf cart is out of your budget? Think again. At the Golf Cart People, we have a fantastic selection of fully inspected, pre-owned carts starting at just $4,500. Choose from gas, electric, or lithium-ion power to fit your lifestyle. And the best part, every used cart comes with a 1-year warranty for total peace of mind. Why wait? Get the cart you've always wanted today. Visit the Golf Cart People. Find out more at golfcartpeople.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital. Whatever the job, consider it done with the Lawnmower Hospital in Ego, the top-rated brand in cordless outdoor equipment. Their universal battery platform takes you from mower to trimmer into the mini bike with just one battery. They keep the party going with the Ego misting fan on those hot summer days, and then keep the party going with the Ego Bluetooth speaker at night. Check lawnmowerhosp.com now for stock and pricing. The Lawnmower Hospital.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Hour number 4 of the Tom Gazzola Show here on Sports 1440. Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and Connor, our intern in studio. Very nice to meet Connor. Out of Mount Royal.
He's from Calgary. We learned this last week.
And that's fine.
But he's a diehard, devout Oilers and Elks fan. So
how did this happen?
He bucks the trend here.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Parents
Yes.
are both from Edmonton.
Oh, your parents are?
Yeah, parents grew up in Edmonton, so they've been Oilers and Elks fans for their entire life, and it passed down to me.
Wow.
Nice.
I respect the hell out of that.
You totally redeemed yourself.
Totally redeemed himself. Attaboy, Connor. Well, very nice to meet you. Welcome. I guess you were here last week, but I was on holidays.
Tom, you're so out of the loop. This is
Evidently.
this is what happens when you take holidays, man. Just
Yes.
be like Josh and never take any time off. Nose to the grindstone. Devout worker.
He's getting very annoyed right now that you said that.
Well, he's the one bragging about it on it earlier.
You can defend yourself, Fenny.
Mr. No Days Off.
I was just like,
hashtag grinding. Always
listen,
grinding.
I said it mostly in jest because I
Oh, you
haven't
did?
taken like time off. So, can't be out of the loop if you never take time off. I am in need of a vacation real bad.
You
Real
love
bad.
WestJet right now, don't you?
I hate WestJet.
Yeah.
They can all die.
They can sit on a tack.
I mean the company, not the people who are striking.
Yes.
Get your money, honey. You know what I mean?
You go, girl.
I'm surprised you didn't snap your fingers after
Yeah,
too.
7
That's
snaps.
very, very sassy.
That was sassy.
Wow. Hello.
Okay.
This fine program brought to you by Bet365. Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 is available in Alberta, and it's here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Are we, Brando, doing in or out this segment or next?
That's up to you, Tom. I did print off your new liners.
Ooh.
They're on the printer right now, so I'll have to screw and get them unless you've got it in front of you in the digital version, or we can just save it for 1020.
Let's save it for 1020.
All right, I like it. I'll go get them
Yeah.
right now, then leave you
Okay.
and Belsy to your devices.
Excellent. We've got-
Unchecked and unfiltered as I step out.
Oh boy.
Oh, we'll be okay.
This
We'll
is
be
going to get
just fine.
off the rails.
Look who's texting in. Eddie Steele.
Oh.
Eddie says Fenny did not take time off. He just no-shows Sunday. Eddie, oh, well played. That's a zinger.
That's good stuff.
Okay, here's one from Shovelhead. This is interesting. We're talking about the business of the game. It says, morning, boys. Good show. Didn't Mario Lemieux have an ownership deal with the Penguins instead of a big salary? Could McDavid do the same? I know that's been floated out there, like a share in OEG.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Lemieux, and I might be wrong on this. If I am, feel free to text in and correct me. But I think it was at the end of it, when he retired. He was already a Hall of Famer, and then he came back. I think the ownership portion kicked in after he had retired again. They owed him salary, and instead of salary that they owed, they gave him shares of the team. So he became part owner. And then when they sold a few years ago, I think it was like 20 million he was owed,
Mm-hmm.
and then turned into a percentage of the team. And when they sold for 800-900 million, he made bank. He made a couple $100 million off of that. I think that's the Cole's Notes version.
Yeah. I really don't know, but it would be great to think about to see if you can get a little bit less from McDavid, but you're giving him a piece of it.
Is that not circumventing the cap
100%.
and the CBA too?
But I mean, look what's happened with Tampa, who started it, Vegas and Florida, and even the Oilers to an extent with the way that they circumvented the cap too. Like,
but that's not
teams are
ownership
always,
of the franchise.
Yeah, but teams are always trying to find ways to circumvent something or find a loophole in the system.
Of course.
Everybody's trying to do it. So if you can get it in before people are like, oh, I can't believe you just did that. Look at the Kawhi situation.
He's being investigated.
He's completely circumvented the cap.
100%.
But nobody said a word for 7 years until they tried to trade for the guy. Somebody traded for him. And then all of a sudden, now it's an issue.
Well, I mean, it was a big issue
Guess
during
what?
the season.
It's not going to be anything. Like, this investigation is going to be done.
They better hurry it up if he wants to be a Raptor this year.
Well, he wants to be a Raptor. Of course. Come back.
You're a Raptors, spoken like a true Raptors fan. Look at
Raptors fan.
Yeah.
But once again, teams are always trying to find ways to circumvent the cap. So it's not a terrible idea.
I'm not saying it's a terrible
now,
idea.
will it ever
Like, it's
happen?
clever.
Probably not, but yeah, I like the idea.
Okay. But then that opens the door. How many franchise players, quote unquote?
That's another
all of a
conversation
sudden-
because that's the one thing where, people are talking. It's like that GOAT conversation. How many GOATs are out there? Well,
Yeah,
to
but
me,
it's a
there
slippery slope.
should be only a certain select few that even have the ability to get to that conversation. So if we're talking about a stake in ownership, well, Connor McDavid would be one.
How do you define that, though?
Well,
like, I have
there-
an idea, but it's
you'd have to be like
subjective.
the megastars of the game.
What's stopping
How many megastars are in hockey right now?
20?
I would disagree with that. I think there's a lot. I think there's 20 superstars, yes. But
What's a
megastar
megastar's on a different level?
another level. Connor McDavid is on
6.
another level.
6. That's just,
Sure.
I'm not even thinking which names. I'm just 6. How
So
many?
I'd probably say McDavid, McKinnon,
Yep.
Crosby,
Yep.
Ovechkin,
Yep.
Makar.
Celebrini?
I don't think Celebrini is a megastar.
Not yet.
No. So maybe 5?
Not Eichel.
No.
Not Stamkos.
Kucherov?
For some reason, he falls under the radar.
Yeah.
Even though he's
Yeah, he
a
does.
brilliant
But
player.
he's
one
a
of the best
superstar.
players.
But
Yeah.
once again, like if you're thinking about mega stars and guys that the NHL says you're going to carry the mantle and you are the face of the NHL, like I'd probably say it's those 5 guys.
Any objections, Brendo?
No, when you originally said the 20 or whatever, I was definitely more in line with Sean's train of thought there, where, yeah, it's like that term, it exceeds beyond actual ability. It goes along with marketability and how much are you out there and how much do people associate with the league. So those 5 names, which, what did you guys say? Crosby, Ovechkin, McDavid, McKinnon, and Makar.
Yeah.
I think that's, I think Celebrini's very close to be in there. And the reality is, just because of this past year, there's probably an American player that is there too. Which American is it? Is it Jack Hughes because of the golden goal?
Did you see the video of
What
them
video?
getting denied entry into a club in New York?
No, I did not.
So then, no, there is no American player.
Wow.
That
And
is a
you know, is
megastar,
it the Kachuk brothers because of their profile and they got the podcast and everybody knows who they are?
But they're not good enough to be considered that level. They're great
I
players,
agree,
not just-
but I don't think they're either player is on the level of those other guys that we just listed.
So they'd be superstar.
I think they're
not megastar.
I think they're probably superstar players with but that's kind of the argument here is like if they're that good of players, not quite the highest tier, but they have that much of a profile where the league and marketing and things very much are aware of them and revolve around them, does that qualify them into that megastar category, which is obviously very ambiguous and up to one's own interpretation. I think they'd probably be pretty close, but I think probably Celebrini is the next closest outside of those the 5 that we named.
Now-
Because even at their age, and Crosby's still playing at a higher level than Ovechkin is,
Yeah.
but both guys are still absolutely on that list.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you want to go like the scope of North American sports and the landscape there, Ovechkin and Crosby have more clout than McDavid does.
Oh, I
Just
don't disagree with you on that one.
Name
Yeah.
recognition.
Yes.
And it is because of their decade and a half plus of being in the national spotlight, getting the attention, being the faces of hockey.
Yep.
And playing in American markets that matter.
Yes, I agree. So there's no debate coming from me on that one.
Now, McDavid is arguably a better player than both those guys, skill-wise. Obviously has not accomplished what those guys have in terms of personal accolades, yes. Team accolades, obviously not. Who knows what happens. But straight up, because Connor McDavid plays in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as much as the Oilers are on national TV in the U.S. now, and ESPN and TNT, all that stuff, he's still not as well recognized as Ovechkin and Crosby.
But is that not an issue with the NHL?
Yes.
Because their marketing machine, and I think they do a decent job of marketing McDavid, but I don't think they do it to the extent of where this guy should be known all across North America. Because I would ask the question, like, if you go down to the States and you randomly pick a city and you randomly went up to 100
Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah, 200 people, and you go, who's Connor McDavid? I'd be willing to bet you a lot of them don't know who he is.
I agree. Unfortunately.
And so to me, that's an indictment on the NHL marketing. If this guy is supposed to be the face of your company, your organization, your league, then you got to have this guy like on everything.
He needs to be on the U.S. Gatorade commercial.
100% he does.
He needs to be
He needs to be on the NHL jet. When Gary's flying through the skies, all you see is Connor's face. But it's true.
I agree,
like,
but yeah.
You should have guys that when you think about the league, you immediately say that guy is synonymous with the NHL.
Right.
Doesn't matter where he plays, it's NHL. So if you're going down to, what did you say, Topeka, Kansas?
That's right.
And 150 people don't know who that is, that's a problem.
Fair. There's also like no hockey in Topeka, Kansas.
Well, that's fair. But once again, people have TVs.
How do I know Topeka, Kansas? I drove there on my way to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
I did not know it
You
existed.
tried to get through there as fast as you possibly
I
can.
certainly
much
did.
like I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a long drive.
Yeah,
You
it's
did
a
it.
very 35. Well, not 35. It's about
30-ish.
27, 28 hours.
How fast were you going?
120.
Okay. Well, they have the 80-mile-an-hour highways
know,
down
I
there.
completely lied to you.
Those are wonderful. Yeah, I know you're lying. Being facetious.
Yeah.
A couple of texts have come in. Montana to Rice, pardon me, says that might be true, but he's also a very boring personality in regard to McDavid.
Okay, yeah, that's a completely different conversation, though. Doesn't matter the personality. The fact is, you still got to get that guy out, even if he is boring. He's your face.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to disagree with that comment. It's just from a media standpoint. Like I'll take this one. Patrick Mahomes right now in the NFL would be considered best quarterback in the NFL.
Have you seen him in training camp?
No, I have not.
Anyway,
But my point is,
he just had popcorn, Tom.
My bad.
That guy is on every commercial.
Yes,
you see him everywhere. It's impossible not to know who he is.
He's with Jake from State Farm. That guy's very popular.
Very. Discount double check.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, you make a good point.
And you think he's got more personality than Connor McDavid?
I think he's
maybe because
willing
his
to
voice is
show
like Kermit the Frog.
He doesn't like that. By
No,
the
he
way.
doesn't. But maybe he's willing to show it. To me, when I look at Mahomes, I don't see a ton of personality, but he's everywhere. And so the
Right.
NFL says, like, this is the face of our league. We're going to push him to the moon.
Yeah, but I mean, the power of the NFL is just
It's different, but it's the
astronomical.
conversation's still the same.
I get it. And the principle is the same. Yeah, absolutely. HD with this one says the Oilers are already doing that by doing business with McDavid's wife. Like kind of skirting. That's fair. I don't know how much she's making. I'm sure she's doing quite well. She's very popular among women in this area.
Yep.
Which is great. So that's a fair point too by HD. And then Montana to Rice adds something that I think is crucial to the Mahomes conversation.
Let me hear it.
He's won multiple Super Bowls.
That is a very good point.
The Rig says the people of Topeka would know who Mahomes is.
Yes,
Well, what
Merc emoji.
But maybe they're more interested now since the new stadium is going to be on their side of the border.
Well
Which is
played, sir.
Them and the Bears, man. Like in Indiana.
Well, the Bears. It's funny because Kansas City. There's a Kansas City, Kansas, smaller of the two, and of course Kansas City, Missouri, where the Chiefs and the Royals, and that's the one we all know.
Yeah.
But are they? So they can still be called the Kansas City Chiefs, and nothing changes. They're just now in Kansas City, Kansas. The Bears, the Gary, Indiana Bears.
Yeah, it's so.
Have you guys ever been to Gary, Indiana?
I have not.
I have.
Why?
He got lost trying to get back. Got lost trying to get back to O'Hare. Maybe.
Yeah.
I've been
I
to
was just
Omaha.
driving through, the U.S. And I stumbled upon Gary, Indiana. Now,
Home of the Bears.
I don't normally
Home of
like
the
to
Bears.
rip cities,
Bears.
but Gary, Indiana is not that nice.
Yeah, but what if you plop down an $8 billion facility?
Well, then it's still not that nice.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking.
And you should drive through Gary, Indiana as fast as you possibly can.
Oh boy. St. Louis, Missouri. Part of it's in Kansas. We would land at you were drafted by them, but we would land at the airport, the St. Louis airport, but it's over the border in Kansas.
Yeah.
I learned that very early.
When on one of my trips to Kansas City, because it's saying it's right, the city's essentially right on the border, and the airport's out of the town, sort of like ours is here.
Right.
So if we missed the exit and we were in Kansas, and they turn around, come back into, the show me state into Mizzou and find your way back to the airport.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It's wild.
Like Texarkana.
There are a lot of actually very major cities that essentially reside right on or within miles of state borders.
Yes.
Yeah. Like a lot of them.
Well,
Indiana Bears.
cities
that
like the Flyers practice in New Jersey.
Yeah. Cincinnati's essentially in Kentucky.
That's why Cincinnati has a reputation.
Of what?
I'm not going to say.
Oh. Crying poor. Like so many other owners.
There you go. Greater Man Jay says, good morning, boys. I went to Little Rock, Arkansas for a business convention. People only knew Edmonton, Alberta as the place where that NHL player Connor plays. I was surprised because hockey is definitely not their game down there. Well, that's a pleasant surprise.
That is nice, actually.
Good.
Little Rock has more Canadians going down there than people think.
Why?
I think there's a buddy of mine owns Carefree RV, and they have RV conventions down there all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The more you learn.
The more you know.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Well, we're going to learn something coming up next with In or Out with Brandon. We're going to step out for a quick breather. More on the way here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience, All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Why tee off at the Ranch Golf and Country Club?
A fun, unique layout offering premier conditions. The Ranch has been ranked as one of the top public courses in Canada.
Unmatched value. Score Golf Magazine rated the Ranch as the best value in Edmonton.
The service, from tournaments to special events to the pro shop. Superior service that makes every visit exceptional.
The Ranch Golf and Country Club, a laid-back environment where anyone can enjoy an amazing day on the fairways. For details, visit theranchgolf.com.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
It's time to hit the greens. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior camps. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
No fluff, no fillers, just pure entertainment. Sports 1440 brings the heat with bold opinions, big personalities, and Edmonton's fiercest fans. This is your turf. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Does your bank do local? We do.
When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
It's finally time to escape your four walls and see where your four wheels can take you. Sherwood Honda helps you head out on the road the way you want to, with the right vehicle, including freedom-seeking SUVs that give you the versatility to drive where, when, and how you want to. It sure would do some good to get out and stretch your horizons, and sure would be easier with Sherwood Honda.
The Tom Gazzola Show. 60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$10:24. It's the Tom Gazzola Show. Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and Connor. Connor, what's your last name?
Spivak.
Spivak in studio with you. Very nice. Why are you laughing at me?
Well, you've been with him for a half hour, and you're already way nicer to him than I was. I just kept calling him Connor the Lesser, or Connor. It was Connor the Younger, but I think that hurt Connor Halley's feelings a little bit as Connor the Old. I said Connor the Experience, but that obviously just comes with the association of old.
Connor the Wise,
and with all of this big Greek mythology kick with the Odyssey and all this stuff.
Yeah,
in Homer's epics, there's characters Ajax the Great and then Ajax the Lesser. Both are great, but one's just bigger than the other one, essentially. So
I won't do you dirty like that, Connor.
Connor the Muzzy.
That is a nice little Muzzy you got going, isn't it, Belzy?
Yeah, there it is. Connor
Very
the
nice.
Muzzy. You're not the Lesser. You've
The
got a
Muzzy.
nice Muzzy coming in.
Oh, nice. Good stuff.
The old lip broom.
Text us 1-833-401-1440. We need to get to In or Out, brought to you by Harley Davidson of Edmonton. Their annual garage sale and swap meet is Saturday, August 15th. Catch the Twin West Crew stunt team performing 2 great shows and score huge deals on parts, gear, and clothing. Find more at hdedmonton.com.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out? In or out of what? No time for questions, just action. In or out? Well, then I'm out. I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
Starting on the gridiron, we rewind to Saturday night where the Edmonton Elks dropped their rematch to the Riders 28-26. Without improved discipline, the Double E cannot be considered the best team in the CFL.
Oh, discipline has been an issue all season. You've heard Mark Killam talk about it. In on that one. Best team in the CFL. That's fair. Montreal's a well-oiled, finely tuned machine. Saskatchewan, no slouch either, defending Grey Cup champs. Elks are budding as one of the best teams in the league. The record's certainly fantastic. But I think if you're truly the best team in the league, you have to have all aspects of your game refined. And that's one that continues to be an issue, especially after last weekend. In.
I'm going to go out.
Really?
Because they're not the best team in the CFL.
Okay.
And they're also 6-2. They are rolling along. They've also had, they had a chance to win that game. It was there for them.
They had that possession late.
And I
They did
don't
nothing.
think the penalties in that particular game cost them. I think it was the lack of execution. The last play we were talking off air Well, I think there was a sack on one of the plays.
Yeah.
So
Sask
you have the ball
defense stepped up.
in your hand with a chance to win that game. Sask stepped up, not the Elks taking over. So to me, I'm going to be out on that, but they do need to improve their discipline. So that part I do agree, but the rest of it, it's in their hands. They had an opportunity to win it. They just fumbled the ball.
They're in a great place.
And I think that your point, Sean, is valid. Like, they had a chance, which to me shows that they are very much in discussion for the best team in the CFL, right there with the Riders. I know they're still a game back. Saskatchewan is, because they haven't taken, or they have one less game played. And then Montreal, obviously out east, is going to be a big test this week for the green and gold. But like, I think penalties did have an impact on that game. When you talk about your defense doing its best to get a final stop, give your offense one final shake, even if it is a desperation Hail Mary type play or something, and you take penalties that end the football game. Full stop. The penalties ended the football game. And we've seen it on special teams throughout the season, which I think is an extra big concern and, more importantly, thorn in the side of Mark Gillam because of his history as a special teams coordinator. Like, we talked with him Friday morning, Eddie and I did ahead of the game, and Eddie kind of asked him, right, like, what are the areas that you still seek improvement with your team? Because despite being in first place, despite your record, we know that you're always striving for more. And he specifically pointed to their discipline as a sticking point. And offensively, right, like we know that's whether they're not a team that's plagued by procedure penalties or false starts or anything like that. So it's not, but to me, it's on special teams, during kick plays, whatever, and then on defense, like the one rough in the passer penalty they took, like, it's such a no-brainer that you can't do that, and it ends up costing you. So I still believe in the team a lot, but I think to clear that next hurdle, they need to shore things up in that particular department, which I'm sure every team will say they want to do, but with the Elks, it's pretty glaring right now.
And we're almost halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Over to the Diamond. MLB trade deadline has come and gone. The Toronto Blue Jays kind of dancing both sides of the table here, mostly selling, but they do some buying as well, particularly the addition of Soriano, starting pitcher, under team control for many years and already having a pretty good year. Pitcher of the month in the American League earlier on this season. So the Jays brass and their collection of work, this year's deadline, I will grade it out to a B+.
Go ahead, Belzy.
That's a hard one because I do like the arms that they added, but at the same time, they didn't add a bat or two, and they need the bats more than they needed the pitching. Now, I'll be in with that purely based on the fact that they've added arms for next year, the year after, and they've added some nice pieces. But if you're going to give up your number 2 prospect in your organization, I feel like you need to have a bat coming back that can help the lineup and help Vladdy get back to maybe take some of the pressure off, where he's at. And, we saw it and we talked about it earlier in the show where it's, okay, Bo Bichette was there. He was a guy that could be relied upon to get a hit, took pressure off of Vladdy. And then Springer obviously was not hurt at that particular time. He was able to do it. But right now, this lineup is the worst lineup or offensive lineup that they've had in a while.
Second to last in the majors and all.
Exactly.
Their output it's
not good.
Putrid.
So they needed bats. And I think that would have probably helped get them a better grade. But I do like the arms that they added and the fact that it's all controllable.
I'll give them a B-. I'm just going off what Thomas Hall said.
Right.
Like there's they hybrid buyers, sellers in this trade deadline. And although you lose some popular players, obviously Gausman being the most popular, you get some useful players back. So a B-, which, as a C average student, pretty much my whole life, I would look at it and be like, look, Mom, pretty good.
Pretty good. And I think anywhere in that B range is fair, Tom, whether you flex down to a B-, stick in the middle, or the little bit more optimistic side that I'm taking, and Bell's agreed with. Like, we knew that the assets they had to sell, none were going to fetch a very big return, right? And I actually think they made out quite well with the Jeff Hoffman trade. Even like, you needed to capitalize on that. With Hoffman, the extra year of control, he's been very good for this team in some different leverage spots out of their pen here since the very bad start to the season. They had lost closer rule, right? And that's still sticking with people going. And then last year at the World Series, all those things. Don't be mistaken. Jeff Hoffman's been very good this year. So they capitalize on that and they cash in well. Like that was the best return they got was for Hoffman. And it doesn't, hurt the fact that once again, an extra year of team control that goes with it as opposed to the UFAs and Gausman and Varsho. So would have I liked to see them try and test the market a little bit more for someone like Bieber or Springer was all in his own control because of his 10-5 exemption. He probably said, yeah, I'm good to ride it out here. Not interested in going anywhere.
Yep.
And I really don't think that there would have been much of anything for Max Scherzer, even with the nice start he put together over the weekend. He might be back. Max Scherzer. No, right. no takers.
I don't know, man.
We floated that. We had that as a fun little bit last week. Was that Eddie and I, Josh, that did that? It was like, yeah, Max Scherzer question mark back, but
I mean, the guy's ancient in baseball terms, so
he's experienced, Tom.
Yes,
he's experienced.
Max, he's 40 something years old. He played good in his rehab start in Buffalo, and it's encouraging that he's doing okay with the Jays. But it just feels like just like a cult. Like I don't know.
Well now
scrap together
just as they did at the start of the season. They have too many starting pitchers. Can you believe that? Sure. But Sean's point about the bats is one very well taken. The offense clearly needs improvement, and they did absolutely nothing in that regard over the weekend. But around the rest of the league, several big deals did get completed. 4 pitchers, 4 bats, and I think the winner of this year's trade deadline was the team that takes home the crown jewel. Does some shoring up in other departments as well. Adds another hot arm to their bullpen. Gets some depth at some position spots too. It's the Los Angeles Dodgers, the evil empire. The addition of Skubal pretty much alone makes them the winner of this year's deadline.
Yeah, I'm in on that. It's crazy how everyone's just kind of conceding this to the Dodgers. And when that trade for Skubal was announced, everyone was like, of course. Damn Dodgers.
So then let me tack this on as an extra piece to this question. The losers of the deadline were the rest of the National League. And in particular, the contenders, and I'm going to highlight the team that I was hot for last week, saying they're going to do it. They're going to pull the trigger and get Skubal. The Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
You get Dusty May? Come on.
Not the same.
Not even in the same stratosphere. So
I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah. I'm in too. To me, it's now you've got a rotation that's just all-stars everywhere. And so we're
on top of all-stars everywhere.
With a collection of Cy Young trophies in there for a couple different guys.
Is that good?
Well. That sounds good.
Yeah.
So you face them in the playoffs. Who are you supposed to get a hit off of?
Good question.
So I'm fully in.
I just wanted the Brewers to do it, like buck their trend, because that Donovan and I got into it last week about, he said the Rays would be the biggest, buyers or the biggest big game hunters. And they made some good gets, especially, Freddie Peralta out in New York. That's awesome. They got the Canadian, the catcher, as well to shore up a position of weakness. But in the American League, it's so wide open that I think it didn't really matter. Like there were a lot of teams that did adding. I give the White Sox a lot of credit for, striking while the iron's hot on a good season for them.
Mm-hmm.
But in the National League, it was the Dodgers, and then everything else was kind of just, I guess. Padres, they held on to Miller. They did some adding too, but it's almost moot because we've seen them play this year. They're not it. Unless they get red hot somewhere down the stretch. But I think they're going to hit the buzzsaw, the Dodgers, regardless, and it'll be all for nothing.
Do you think a lot of the teams saw the acquisition that the Dodgers had, and then they just said, you know what? Let's just hold on.
I hope not.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
The worst attitude.
It wouldn't shock me if that's part of it, where front offices say, what's the point of blowing up our system now to get a lesser player, whatever pitcher that would have. But if you're the Brewers and these things are happening, like the Blue Jays got Soriano out of the Angels. And he was the best pitcher with control that was moved. So it's not a pure rental. You do pay a little bit of a higher price. But if you're a first place team in your division with a bullet like the Brewers are, do it.
Yeah.
Like make your team substantially better. And I don't think they did.
You can't just give the Dodgers the World Series.
I don't disagree, but
play the damn games.
You do play the games.
That's why we play the games.
That's why we play the games. But it goes back to, once again, like the Dodgers had already an elite rotation. And then you go add a legit all-star to it makes it even more impossible. Their lineup is solid, despite
Beat
some
them.
of their players not living up to expectation, Kyle Tucker. But they're still the Dodgers, and trying to get through them is going to be a crazy task. So if you are those other teams, well, can we hold on to our prospects? Can we develop our players? Wait till the Dodgers fall off a cliff? Because guess what, guys? That roster is getting older. It's aging by the years. And maybe when they decide to go off that little cliff,
if that
maybe
ever
that's the
happens.
time that we strike. If they do, but because their development system's actually unbelievable as well.
Yeah. Like there's a reason they can still go get all these good players because they've got the prospects to do it. And the return for the Tigers was pretty disappointing.
I know.
So
that's the craziest part for me, is that it was so
underwhelming.
yeah.
And then everyone else comes to the defense of the Dodgers saying, like, well, they were the one willing to pay the price. And it's just makes it all the more frustrating when you look at that return. You look at the Brewers or any other team and you say, you wouldn't match that package. Like it was solid. Nothing to really write home about. Like we chatted about it with Cordell Woodland.
Oh, Cordell, yeah.
Like the Red Sox gave up a bigger package to get Adley Rutschman.
Yep.
So listen, lots of baseball left to play. They play the games for a reason. Come October, I am going to be heavily invested, even if the Jays more likely win. The Jays are not in the mix playing some playoff baseball. NHL offseason team by team. Mount Rushmore series continues as we continue to slowly work our way around the NHL. Another stop in the Pacific Division in Northern California with the San Jose Sharks. I'm interested. This might be the least contentious, or right up there with our stops in Calgary and Vancouver, with that final spot getting a little bit debatable. I think a couple are no-brainers in Patrick Marleau, Joe Thornton. I even think Joe Pavelski is a pretty surefire spot there, but I'm giving the fourth opening to Marc-Edouard Vlasic.
It's a Vlasic. It's an old pickle commercial for those that are like, what
with
the
the
hell are you
Pelican.
talking? That's right. It's a Vlasic.
Good pickles.
Yes, quality product. I'm out, actually. I feel like we're forgetting earlier era San Jose Sharks. I think Owen Nolan should be considered in this group.
Okay.
I have no problem with Marleau. Marleau's like the all-time Shark, obviously.
He's the all-time leader in points.
Yeah.
He's 1,600 games.
Unbelievable.
In the uniform.
Yep. Thornton, phenomenal time. Pavelski, I have time for. Vlasic, I think like even Brent Burns you could put above him. But I think Owen Nolan definitely deserves some love here. And then in jest, I'm going to say Arturs Urbe or Pat Falloon.
Oh, geez.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to say Jonathan Chichu.
Yeah, he had that one great
He
season.
had one
because
great
of
season.
Thornton.
But I'm going to go in. And the reason I'm going in is because of the longevity.
Of Vlasic?
Yes.
1,323 games, every single one of which in a Sharks uniform.
That's correct. That's
quite
an accomplishment.
He's an
obviously.
Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
During his peak, considered one of the very best defensive D-men in the entire league. So like the point totals don't wow you. He did have a 39-point season.
He was like Ekholm-esque.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comparison. And like you compare him to Burns, like those would be the two that because Nolan's numbers just as a Shark, he scored scored over 200 goals, but played just 568 games, 451 points. Like that's half of some of the other guys on this list.
He ushered them into the golden era of San Jose Sharks hockey, though.
He did, but when you think about the San Jose Sharks, Owen Nolan doesn't pop into your head.
You think of Nolan with
immediately.
the point in the All-Star
You
game.
think of Thornton, you think of Marleau, you do think of Pavelski. Like those guys are.
Well,
it is
Pavelski-
recency bias, but
Thornton and Marleau, 100%.
Yeah.
Pavelski, great Shark, obviously. I don't know. I think without Owen Nolan, he helped like really solidify that franchise.
So would you take Pavelski out, or would you keep him in and take Vlasic out for Nolan?
You know what? I'd put Nolan in over both those guys. I'd swap either one of them. But you make a good point about Vlasic and his years and time and accomplishments. I don't know. Now I'm doubting myself.
I don't know if you should, Tom. I think I think it's a strong answer. And like, listen,
Brent Burns is a good one.
The Google search and some other lists that are out there, even from 10 years ago, or like no one's on a lot of the lists.
Yeah.
And so it's very fair. And going back, Nabokov was on quite a few as well. But listen, no Shark has obviously ever won anything. They don't have a Stanley Cup, but he didn't get to a cup final.
Yeah.
He was very good. Don't get me wrong. But even still, his total numbers as a Shark aren't like longevity or anything. They don't necessarily blow you away.
EG Texan, disgrace. You guys didn't put Mike Ricci on there.
He'd definitely be on the hair.
The hair list.
He just voted the most sexy man in hockey one time.
No, he
Which
was.
yes, he was.
I think in jest.
That's
Which
like
is one of the craziest things I've ever. Like that guy.
Was that the same campaign that sent Rory Fitzpatrick to the All-Star game?
Might have been. There was a crazy time in hockey. And let me
vote for Rory.
Let me cap it with this: Mike Ricci is no dill pickle.
Oh, geez.
It's a velocity.
Okay,
let's go.
On that, we
Move
can
on.
Pivot over to our final topic today, and it is a National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. The best edition. If you're whipping up a bowl of dough, a bowl of batter, and you're looking to spice things up away from just the original regular list of ingredients, throwing in some little bits of caramel or caramel, if you prefer. That's the best way to plus up your chocolate chip cookie recipe.
Go for it.
I'm out.
Really?
You know why?
Tell me.
Because you don't touch a chocolate chip cookie.
Wow.
Oh.
You don't. It's on the elite level of baked goods, a chocolate chip cookie.
It might be at the top.
It could be at the top. And I don't think that you need to tweak it.
Thank
I
you
don't
for
think
using
you
the
need
term baked goods, by the way.
Yes. Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you. Don't violate the sanctity of a delicious chocolate chip cookie.
Are you a dunker, Belzy? Into the milk?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends if it's like a fresh bake, but I haven't had a fresh bake chocolate chip cookie in ages.
I like chewy.
If anybody wants to make me one,
oh yeah,
feel free.
Maybe I whipped some up in this past year, brought them in studio.
Really?
My first time ever baking cookies in my life.
Nice.
And
how'd they turn out?
They were pretty good, I
all
thought.
right.
I love it.
They were all right.
They
were potable, that's for sure.
Well, that's good.
They were not a potable. Jeopardy.
Excellent
category.
Jeopardy reference. Well done, sir. I will go in because I'm a sucker for caramel. Anything with caramel is enhanced, in my opinion, including chocolate chip.
Too sweet.
It's very sweet, I know, but I'm a sucker.
I was actually really tempted here to go with a much lamer answer, but it's a version of like oatmeal. Like
it's not surprising. I love oatmeal.
I don't like oatmeal raisin because I hate raisins. They do nothing for me.
What?
But oatmeal chocolate chip might be top of my list. It's awesome.
I love raisins. It's like people that like Brussels sprouts. They taste like farts. As my brother Paul would say.
Who loves raisins?
I
never.
think they're great.
You have a box of raisins.
Tom
Some
going down
Sunkist?
the cereal aisle with
Raisin Bran.
Mrs. Gazzola as a little boy, and all the other kids are clamoring for the cinnamon toast crunch and the honeycomb, and Tom's like, "Give me the 2 scoops of raisins, Mom."
Keeps you regular.
It's not even like he likes
Keeps
to.
you regular.
God.
That's that's important too.
Do you got boxes of raisins at your house?
No, I don't.
Those little, like the tiny little cardboard ones that you'd get like in your school lunch.
I love those.
Oh, those are bad.
I love those.
I don't know if anybody would agree with you. I'm curious to see how many people would agree with you on this one.
I really like the mini boxes of raisins that you got at Halloween's. Do they still do those?
Wait, you got those at Halloween?
Yeah, you remember they come in.
Yeah,
small
those
package.
were the houses that
Guys,
that you go back
I
and
love
egg.
that.
That's my
afterwards.
point.
Oh,
If you're handing out raisins for Halloween, you should be locked up.
Yeah.
It's a time for Kit Kat, Snickers.
Connor's nodding. Fenny's nodding.
Like,
You should be.
It's
criminal.
It's an occasion
for you.
essentially for splurging and gluttony. Essentially, like, don't try and be a hero and be like, well, I'm going to save the youth of tomorrow by giving them raisins.
I don't
today.
want to rot their
Like,
teeth.
Yeah, come on.
No, I want to rot my teeth right now. Give me a Kit Kat, please.
That's the definition of like trying to stop a fire with a single raindrop. Like it's pointless. Don't even try.
Yeah.
Just
Those
give them a chocolate bar.
Because those things are going to get put in the garbage so quick.
Not Camrose Sparky. He agrees with me. He says, I love the Sunripe small box of raisins. I'm with Tom. Camrose
Wild.
Sparky. Thank you, Camrose Sparky.
Wild.
It's a Vlasic. That was In or Out, brought to you by Harley Davidson of Edmonton. When we return, we'll be back to wrap with Tom, Brando, Belzy, Benny, and Connor right here on Sports 1440.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
It's time to hit the greens. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior camps. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
No fluff, no fillers, just pure entertainment. Sports 1440 brings the heat with bold opinions, big personalities, and Edmonton's fiercest fans. This is your turn. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Barbecue season. Nothing like a great steak. Which reminds me, Metal Supermarkets has even created custom grill tops for rusted old barbecues. Just one of the many special requests they've received over the years. You'll be amazed what their skilled crew can do. Barbecue grills to grills for classic cars. Sky's the limit. Speaking of sky, that's a lot of smoke up there. And fire in the hole. My steak. So long, sirloin. Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, denim man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$10:51, final segment here on the Tom Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. A little ELO. Nicely done, Brando. I prefer the Weezer remake of that song, to be honest with you. They did like a whole album of 80s, 70s, 80s, early 90s covers. It's really good. Really good. Text us 1-833-401-1440. Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and Connor Spivak with you in studio. It's been a fun show. It's actually flown by. It's good to be back after a week away. Belzy, Hello Hockey's going to be back next month. We've got to get that all sorted out.
Yes, we
It's gonna
do.
be right here on 1440.
And in the meantime, we're going to actually do a giveaway.
We
tickets for golf to the Garrison. So that'll be on our Hello Hockey account. So follow along
on socials.
If you want to win some tickets and some free golf.
Yeah, shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Those passes came courtesy of Matt at the Garrison. So shout out to Matt. And we'll do that via our social media on the Hello Hockey side of things. So if you don't follow Belzy and I on Hello Hockey on Instagram, Twitter, and we do a little bit of TikTok, don't we?
We do.
Do we do Facebook?
No.
We don't. Okay, I'm just checking with you. I can't remember.
Yeah, we don't do Facebook.
We don't do Facebook. Anyway, if you want a four pass to Garrison, we'll have like a trivia or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll do that later today. Hey, this was fun.
been
Anything
great.
else? Like what's going on this week for you?
Well, I just want to give a shout out
to
quickly. The Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Retirement match. SummerSlam this past weekend.
And why would you be giving him a shout out?
Because he's a buddy of mine.
Which is crazy.
It is.
Are you wearing steel toes for that name you dropped? I'm just kidding.
It's a heavy name drop.
But what's crazy is you are legit. Like
I'm being legit. I
acquaintances
just
with him.
we talked last week when I came in. He was we were talking on the phone right before I walked in here, and then I had to let him go. And then I've talked to him a couple times since. It's just good for him. Retirement match.
Cool guy.
Great dude. Guy's built like an appliance. And it's been like, what a run.
Yeah.
Right? Wrestling.
Yeah.
UFC.
Yeah.
Dabbled in
football.
Like that's a genetic freak.
And he's a good dude.
That's
cool. I would like to meet him.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know someone?
Yeah. Know somebody that can help you out with that one.
That would be great. I would appreciate that very much. Very, very much.
Got you, buddy.
Good show today, pal.
It was awesome.
You're on with Low Tide too?
I'm on with Low Tide.
Okay.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Will you be in studio or just via?
Yeah.
That's okay.
I
But
should
you're here
probably
today.
work at some point.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
I mean, this is part of your work, but it's not all of it.
This is true.
Yeah.
But I do have another job, so I should probably do that at some point.
Kind of important.
Yeah.
Kind of important. But you're not in on Thursday. You have to swap Thursday for today. So thank you for doing that. You're a busy boy. Busy boy. Tomorrow we have Schlemmer coming in. That's going to be great. That was a fun show.
Also back from holidays.
How are his ribs? Anybody know?
Better.
Good.
He's golfing again.
He
has
brought that
been
up.
for a few weeks.
Yeah.
He did bring it up?
Yeah. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, when it happened in real time, we talked about it a lot.
Belsey was.
I think he said Belsey slew footed him.
No. Belsey started high stepping.
Still got it.
And Schlemmer forgot that I was kind of fast.
You are kind of. You're very fast.
And then I think he caught a rut in the ice. And went
That
hard
is
into the post.
that is what he said. Yeah, he kind of just like that little twinkle toes caught the edge, whatever the case, and then hard into the unforgiving iron.
It did not sound good when he hit.
Well, Schlemmer's in tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Good to have him back. Good to be back. Short week, but we're gonna have some fun and good stuff as always, Buzzy.
Always a pleasure.
Hey. All right, we'll do this again next week. That's going to do it for the Tom Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. Big thank you to everyone who tuned in. Big thank you to all of our guests, those who watched. Appreciate you very much. We do have a Sports 1440 update coming up for Belsey, for Connor Spivak, for Brandon Douglas, for Josh Fenwick. I'm Tom Gazzola saying thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Always, always, always appreciate it very much. We'll do it all over again tomorrow. All right, this Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Here's Brando. Have a great day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Earlier this hour, the Baltimore Ravens announcing an extension for wide receiver Zay Flowers, 25-year-old, getting a 4-year deal worth $140 million, which includes $108 million fully guaranteed. Earlier on this morning, the Atlanta Falcons and two-time Pro Bowler Bijan Robinson also reaching an agreement. There'll be a 3-year extension worth $75 million. That makes him the highest-paid running back in NFL history. $51 million of that deal is guaranteed. In the majors today, a full slate of games, including the Blue Jays continuing their set in Houston against the Astros. Trey Savage taking the bump. First pitch coming 6:10 Mountain. Catch that game right here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, Yankees continue their set at home against the Cardinals. White Sox in Fenway against the Red Sox. And the LA Dodgers take on the Chicago Cubs from Wrigley. WCL action in Bellingham tonight. Edmonton Riverhawks, second to last game of the regular season. First pitch, 7:35 against the Bells. And Hlinka Gretzky Cup action continuing in our fine city. Canada taking on Slovakia this afternoon at 5 o'clock from downtown Edmonton. 3 other games, including Czechia, Germany, Sweden up against Switzerland. Those are some matinees. And the night game, United States taking on Finland. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is The Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brendan Douglas.